Let's go. Air horn. Ba, 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 ba. Yo, 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 Luke Wonderland. Thank you so much for letting me be here with you. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm ready. I'm motivated because this is part two of the L Triple C, and it's going to be a blast. We got the best and greatest players again, back at it again, loaded up, playing some decks to start this new set off, and I'm absolutely excited, Luke. I know the players are rip roaring and ready to go. You want to talk about these deck lists real quick before we hop on in there? Okay. 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 Well, no more ice though. So we're done with the ice. We're on Sisu on coils now. He's actually riding out on his springs. Okay. 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 Respect. Respect. It works. It works. I get it. I get it. I get it. Nice, nice, nice. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a great match. I'm excited to see what how this thing works out because as you stated, Spezzi's deck is only $43 that he loaded for this tournament today. So if he can manage to have some type of competitive significance, I think playing a $43 deck, I think that could be a good thing for the meta because as you know, these Sapphire cards are incredibly expensive. And to still be somewhat competitive with a deck that's less than $50, I think that'll be a good sign of improvement for the game. Okay. Yeah, and it's not necessarily just the crab. You got the crab, you got the Scrooge, you got, you know, the it's a lot. Just those two cards alone, a pretty significant price tag. Also, if you're playing the Oswald version, Oswald's increasing in price. So it is becoming a little pricey, but it's not the most expensive deck we've ever had. I think that green steel deck for a time with the Diablos and the Beasts, the Robin Hoods at that point, I think that was quite expensive too. And still people can find a way to negotiate. Hmm. That's, it was, Ursula with the yeah, that deck was quite yeah, that deck was quite pricey. But it looks like Sailor has won the dice roll and has elected to go first, obviously, and he's going to be rocking, like you said, the blue the ruby sapphire strategy. If you're not aware, we are in a sapphire meta right now. Sapphire is all over the place, and Sailor is one of the best players to do this sapphire thing. Looks like you're gonna hang on to these sapphire coils. I love the altar art sapphire coils he's got there. I like that little little inclusion there. Hmm. Mm. It's made Mary or Merryweather. Mary is her name Merryweather? Mary Honey Lemon. No, 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 that's not Honey Lemon. That's Honey Weather. We're gonna figure this out. Honey, yeah, something like that. Merryweather. We'll get it. We'll get it. I'm sure the chat will come online. We do have a slight delay, so the chat will come in. They'll set us right. As Sailor's going to start with the patent pending Ink One, play the popsicle, and kick it back on over to Spessy. And like you said, man, those burn songs, the Madrigal songs. What is it? This is my family. I think I watched one of his streams and he said, "Hey, this is my family is just not it. It's not what he thought it was." And they did have to submit these decks very early on into the release of these sets, so they didn't get a chance to test a lot. The name of the deck is Zero Games Tested, so it's all in theory. And sometimes your theory is not going to be correct. So we'll see if those cards can come through for him here in the rest of this
Well,
game as we'll just ink the Turner Bog or ink and play the
so
Turner Bog.
I didn't have my mic muted, but I just looked over and none of my sounds were going out of the mic thing. So everything I said might not have been heard.
Oh,
So fantastic.
dude, you were saying some good. You were saying some good stuff.
We were on top
Hopefully,
of it for once. I,
we,
I
we
was I
were.
was doing it.
Oh, dude, Luke, dang it,
I
man. Well, you got to record it. We can weave it into the recording at least. I think.
well, I mean, if OBS wasn't picking up the mic at all, like I don't know.
Oh
It's
no. Okay, okay,
so I
but
can't wait to watch messages in chat about my mic being muted.
all right. I'm gonna see. I think we're going live now. I think it should be up. It looks like we're live now. So again, welcome all. If you're tuning in, this is the LCCC version 2, the remix. Okay, we're trying to see if it's going to see how it's going to play out. We have EU versus NA, but it's a different format this time. We're going to have a double elimination style of tournament, and it's not really this team cohesion type thing. I think it can be whoever your bracket lines up against, and it's going
Yep.
to that's who you play against. So it's going to be a lot more fun, a lot more flexible. We heard the feedback from the community and the players, and I believe the crew. Shout out to Pavel and everyone behind the scenes. They made some good changes to make this thing a little bit better, and I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to this tournament.
Oh, and the chat's already on the can't hear.
Oh, they couldn't hear anyone. Could they not hear me at all? Oh, we couldn't
Well,
hear anything.
I talked at first.
Okay, okay, okay.
So they
My
should
bad.
be able to hear you. I
Okay.
double, triple checked right away. I was like, all right, I see JDZ's cam thing. It's flickering. I know. Yeah, see there. So you're holding the fort down for him. Oh,
Okay.
all right. So Specimen starts off with a solid followers into Smee. Now something that's worth noting because I've played a lot of Chernobog aggressive decks. Not
Mm-hmm.
as much Ruby Amethyst, but it is worth noting a lot of people pop their followers when they should not. Like
That's a good
get
point.
that
Yeah.
lore. If you don't need the ink to play on curve, if they're not going to challenge it, wait a turn. If
Yeah.
their whole turn is to spend 3 on a removal on your 1-drop, that's probably fair because it would have hit something else that didn't draw a card anyways. Like unless you really really need it, like be more thoughtful of it. Um, too many people pop it too early. Now, it is a delicate dance. I've seen people not pop it when they should too, right? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a skill check.
And if they got like a capability to rush down on it, or if they got a way to spring forth a way to remove it quite easily, and it doesn't take them off of their tempo or their curve, then you probably should go ahead and pop it. But it looks like we're going to quest the Chernobog, and like you said, had those this is my family's been
Oh
Maleficent,
yeah.
you'd be on your way right now. You'd be cooking, 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 and it is
Oh, that
just so
might have
unfortunate that
been that was
you'd be
something that
on.
I didn't get to hear, so I'll re-say it.
Yeah.
Specimen was Speci was talking to me earlier, and he was saying that he really wished that the those songs were actually 1-cost Maleficents, and so his hand would have been, as JDZ was just saying, a lot better had
Hmm.
he had like 3 1-drops there.
Because it looks like he had to. I want to say he had to skip that turn almost. Like he didn't really even do much when he could have had 3 Maleficents on the field, or yeah, 2 Maleficents on the field, and been much better off as you'll go ahead and play the White Rose as well. Excuse me. Yeah, you'll be putting a lot of pressure down on Sailor, who really hasn't. He missed that Tipo that he spoke about earlier as well, and he doesn't really have a character to challenge any of those Maleficents. So they would have gone quest, and you'll be sitting somewhere at 10, maybe 12. Hate to see it if you're Specie.
Yeah, he was saying that he's just too slow, and it's like, yeah, that Smee could have been double Maleficent, so he could be at 2 more lore. Or if you put the Maleficent instead of the Chernobog, yeah, that's like 4 to 6 more lore at least.
And it's still we're Sailor still kind of going along. Has to be feeling confident that Spessie's only sitting at 5 with this super aggressive burn deck. You haven't placed a character onto the field yet to get any. You haven't really done anything with these coils. You're kind of just standing by. What are your thoughts on coil? Do you think it's overhyped, overvalued, or do you think it's
I
a,
think
a fine card balance?
it was definitely overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, chat came in. It's Honey Marin.
Honey Mare. There it is.
Thank
Shout
you,
out to the
chat.
chat.
Thank
I,
you.
I, I knew we were close though. You said Honey Lemon. I said Merryweather, dude. We were getting there. We were working our way around it. We would
It
have
was
got there.
some it was
Honey
some
Mare.
sweet Marin or weather or something like
Yeah,
that.
we're working. These cards are new. Give us some time, okay? Give us some time to learn them. I take pride in learning all these cards and knowing their names and trying to make sure I'm correct with it. But they're new, and I don't know them all just yet.
So Sailor drawing the sail on this turn is a little frustrating for him, unless he grabbed it while I was talking about other things. It's just like against the aggressive deck, you don't want to have no ramp and just being a Flaversham on turn
Hmm.
4. It's just a little slow. He can't really ramp into his removal necessarily. So next turn he goes 5 ink into 6. So he's 2 turns from B prep, but Spessy is so far back, and the
And there's a
Pete
Pete
is
too.
the Pete could win him this game. He has a lot of cards in play that don't get banished to Sisu.
Yeah. So it could be tight, especially taking a game on the draw. It's would be super huge for Spessy in this situation. I know that like we stated earlier, without those Maleficents, without that early aggression in lower character in the form of a character that this deck needed, I think the matchup is going to be heavily skewed towards Sailor's behalf. But Sailor opened probably as weak as he could have, and just not having the Maui either. So that's going to be tough because if Spessy just says, you know what, I want to start questing,
Interesting.
and he sings it.
I don't like this play necessarily. Mostly because I want to be aggressive.
Right. I think
Um,
just questing there, maybe even playing it, or I don't know.
so this is a turn that you could consider popping the Chernabog so it doesn't get challenged by the mouse, but at the same time the mouse is probably going to challenge your Smee. Um, so I
Yeah.
guess all right. So I would have popped the Chernabog, try to hit an ink, quest with Smee, play Snake, bounce back Smee, play Smee.
There it is. I like that
Um,
play a lot better. I think that would have been on its way. And if we're going to go ahead and do neither of that, we're
hard
going to go in
cast this one.
hard cast for the one. I think you need those to kind of close out the game, because that Pirate's Life is just going to kind of, I think that Pirate's Life is going to come into effect
If a
here
pirate's
later
life
on
comes
too.
down, the game's probably over,
If we can
or
get to the
in one
point,
way
it's
or the
possible.
other. Yeah, it's like I'm pirates lifing. It doesn't matter. You're gonna crack back, or I'm pirates lifing, and now you can't win the game.
Because we are
Um,
at 4 ink, potentially going to 6 next turn. But Sailor may not have the ink. Well, you have to hear him. Hear him can quest again. Get 2 more cards. That could give you the
wait,
ink required.
wait a second. Oh, never mind. Because of the symbol over his ink, I thought he only had 1 ink exerted, but he has 2. So I was
Mm,
just making sure he didn't accidentally play that card for 1, which would be very good. I would be a big fan of that song if it only cost 1 ink.
okay, so he's going full burn right now and just trying to go playing these actions and trying to maybe close it out with the snake cobra, or the
So he was at
snake on
5.
snake.
He gains 4, 6, 7, 8. Yep, up to 12. Flaversham takes down the Smee, and then he quests for 2 to 14. He can Cobra to 16,
Mm-hmm.
and then quest bounce it back Cobra to 19 is probably his like goal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's gonna have to ink or discard the Pete. Like he's probably just gonna have
Ugh.
to discard whatever he draws. And he can't really Cobra next turn because
No,
he
maybe he's
needs
trying to
to
set up. Maybe he's trying to set up
play.
for 2 turns. But if he can get 2 turns, and then you can get to a Pirate's Life, be prepared area, then I think Sailor could have enough momentum to turn the tides, because his hand is fully
Yeah.
loaded and he's got a lot of energy over there. So if he can somehow withstand this volley that Spezzi's put in, I think he can turn it around. As we're going to think, this is a very complex turn right here. Let's see how Sailor breaks it down, because this could be the game on the line right here at this
So
critical turn.
if Sailor represents B prep next turn, that forces Specimen to play Pete. Because if he doesn't play Pete, then like that's he gets B prepped, right?
Yeah,
But playing Pete means he doesn't get to play Viper or Cobra, and then he doesn't get to do that until
that
another
whole
turn
play.
later. So it slows him down enough turns that uh,
But he still does
Pirate's Life
have
gets to
he
see
does
him.
have that Chernabog, which is going to be able to, if Hiram doesn't clear the Chernabog now, he will be able to draw a card from that Chernabog after the quest. So that does free up another card that he could potentially work in with that draw. He gets a draw for turn, and then he gets another draw from the Chernobog. So he could still kind of set up that snake play after the Pete turn, and that could be a GG. But the shark is going to complicate things too, as we're going to go ahead and you are correct. We'll go ahead and take down the Smee with the Flaversham there, taking
Can
1
do
damage
nothing
back.
else. That's so brutal. But
Does he
like his
take?
hand is 6, 6, 8, 7 uninkables, and then
Mm-hmm.
a 6-drop inkable. And the really terrifying thing is that he might have to ink this pirate's life.
Oh,
No, he has
yeah.
6. He doesn't have to, because Spessie's. I feel like Spessie has to play the Pete here. Like if he plays Cobra and discards the Pete, and then Sailor just gets to B prep, then like
Mm. I think that might be. I think that might be correct. But I think this Chernobog might have run his course, like you said, and just getting it quested here, getting it drawn. I think might be the play. As
like
I
this is
think
what
this should be a Pete turn right here.
this is what Spessy needed. He needed to have a character on 1, 2, 3, and Sailor not have a character or removal on 1, 2, 3. No ramp
And Miss
on
Ramp,
2.
no
Like
Maui.
this. No Maui on this turn. The 4-drop was a Flaversham instead of a Grammatala. Granted, like it might not have mattered since the Smee already had 2 damage on it. Oh my.
Oh, that changes
So 1,
stuff right
2,
there.
3, 4, 5, 6. That's he has lethal in hand over the next few turns if he can afford it. I actually think I might just play Goat here.
Yeah.
So if you play Goat, you go to 15. He B preps, you go to 16. Next turn, you play Cobra, you discard. You go to 18. You ink Snake. You play Gather. You go to 20.
Yeah. I think that is the line of play, and that would just force Sailor's hand. He would have to play the Pirate's Life next turn, and I
And
don't know
that's
if
not
that's
even
going to be
good
good
enough
enough. Yeah.
because the Pirate's Life gets equalized by the 2 characters in play. So then the next turn, if Sailor B preps, he loses
Oh, that's right.
because
He can't sing it.
Specimen will
That's
be
right.
in there too.
He doesn't. I thought he had that shark on the field for some reason, but he inked the shark last turn. He just doesn't have it. So this is looking pretty grim, and he does take your line. He brings down the goat. The goat is up. The goat is active, and Sailor is thinking about it. I'm sure he can kind of feel what's about to happen. And what are we looking for here as we get to the hideaway, which isn't probably doing very much in this matchup? You got another popsicle. You have the sail. You have the right sea, and it's looking like it's prep or bust. I think you have to play it, unfortunately.
I think the game's just over,
Yeah,
unfortunately for Sailor. Like he just has 4 pieces of burn in his hand, and like that's the whole point of the deck Spessie's playing is it has that reach.
yeah.
And if your
I think this
opponent
deck is.
stumbles,
And going into I think this is a deck that needs to be explored and investigated a little bit more as a nice, strong pick. Not even a counter meta pick or anti meta pick, but just a generic strong pick. Because just not your opponent not being able to interact. And there are not a lot of cards that can stop Lorgain. There's only one that I can think of, that 7-cost Peter Pan, that could just stop people from gaining lore on their turn. It's like it seems very powerful. And going from 15 to 20. It's going to be rough.
so this might be the out. So Medusa takes out the Rose. So now leaving the goat in play is the same as removing it, right? It quests for 1 or it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's still over. Because Spessy just quests for 1 and bursts out. But
Yeah.
Sailor's thought here was now he can play Medusa, and the next turn sing a Pirate's Life and B prep a bigger board. And because of the coil, there's a higher chance that he can shrink something in Sisu if Pete gets played.
Mm-hmm.
He can be like shrink goat.
We got another bounce too,
Sisu.
so you can.
Doesn't matter. This
Yeah.
is Lorthal right here.
Well, look at that, and that's what we talked about. I know a lot of people speculated this Cobra was going to be a menace to society. It looks like he's already coming in strong, doing what you would expect that card to do. And Spessy comes on in and takes a game number 1 on the draw, which I didn't see that coming. I thought it would be a play draw thing for sure. But again, he hit the markers. Sailor did not. Sailor didn't get to the textbook blue or ruby sapphire openings, and it's just going to go downhill from there as we're going to get on into this game number 2. Is that how you thought this game was going to go, Luke?
Not necessarily. We kind of expected to see some ramp from Sailor. I mean, we can look at his list here. He has 8 ramps for 2, technically 10. If he goes popsicle on 1, he can hide away on 2. So missing his ramp is pretty rough. He had like plan C or D, which is visions of the future or play coil, right?
Hmm.
Not normally what you want to do. He does know Spessie's deck list, so he really didn't like what he had to do, right? He played coil on turn 2 or 3, one of the two.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember if he played coil on 2 or visions on 2 or vice versa. But Spessie has 4 benches, so it's really not what he wants to be doing. Because you play coil
True.
on 2 and Ben, he just
On 3
curves
is
Benja. It's just like, I can't make the
yeah.
sound effect from the Street Fighter you always.
I can't do that. That's so good. You know that's one of my favorite sounds, Luke. But man,
Yeah,
let me hop
and
into the chat real quick. Let's see the chat. They're catching up. The chat is catching up.
yeah,
They like the
Etchy
suit. They
showed
like.
up.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I got the suit on. This is the LCC. Hopefully, you guys are all suited up as well. This is a feature presentation. This is a rare occurrence. Okay, this is not something that you take lightly. It's important. You guys need to be dressed accordingly. So if you're not suited up, go ahead and put it on right now, and let's get right and let's get loose. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Better snake than lever, for those who know that joke.
Better now than never. Better snake than lever. Is there something like that?
So the concept is you're supposed to tell a story joke that is super long, and the point of the joke is to annoy the person you're telling the joke to by making it go on and on and on and on. And when they appear to have finally had it, you end the joke by having like the story involves a dude and he runs over a snake and he says better snake than lever or something like that. 'Cause the lever yeah, it's
I've never heard that before. My bad. Okay.
I like
Okay.
weird humor. What can I say?
That's fine, man. That makes you unique.
So
That's your unique personality. As we're going to be getting
Sailor's
in.
got the ramp.
Look at that.
He's got that turn 2 ramp.
And he does have the brawl as well. And we got the popsicle. This game seems going to be a little bit better for Sailor. I can already see that the progression.
One thing to note on Spessie's list is he's on 4 Chromacons instead of Doc. And when we were chatting earlier, he's like, "Oh, I really need the Maleficents to win," and I was just like, "Roll on Doc," and he's like, "No, I'm on Chromacon instead." And then he went to talk about how he thinks Chromacon is better than Doc, which is a take.
I got to hear his mind on that. I
don't agree with necessarily, but as we know, I'm a huge Doc stan. And he had even said that he didn't like the bounce package very much once he took out Maleficent, which makes sense. If you're not playing Doc and you're not playing Maleficent, you're not playing Rabbit, the bounce package is not as necessarily good. Fox is still a heck of a card, but he might not necessarily need 4 snakes.
Okay. So, but he did go back to the snakes though. The bounce made it back in. I think bounce with the goats, bounce with the cobra just seems way too strong to not be considered in a deck like this. But I could be wrong, as they show great value. Well, not great value, but they were pretty good in that match. They could have had immense value in that last game.
I forgot we have these fancy things, fancy in quotations. So boom, he's got 1 victory star card next to his name.
Look at that. Look at that. Always this. I love the stream. I love the layout. The overlay looks very crisp and clean. Hopefully the viewers at home are enjoying this. If you're not following the Wonderland program, please do
There's
that.
a few things that need to be changed.
It's looking good
I'm
though.
gonna have to suck up to Sailor and be like, please design me like a name bar layout that's better than the ones I'm using, but they will do for now.
It looks good. I still think it looks good. As we go ahead and start with the turn 1 popsicle.
He's shaking it at the screen. He's telling his chat right now. He's like, "This should be Maleficent." Yeah. I can tell.
It'll be so good. Yeah, in both of those games, even in that previous game, had that been Maleficent, you put down on turn 1 and you just get at least 2 for sure. Right away, you're getting 2 out of it. And it feels so miserable to stare down, and it's uninkable too. Hate to see it. You hate to see it, man. You do have some 1-cost plays that you can put down in the form of Diablo and Broom. I think maybe Broom here. I don't know. What's the priority here? If you're going to be on turn one, you have double Broom Diablo.
So I probably lead on Broom. And the reason for this is if Sailor plays a Tipo, he gets to challenge away the Diablo.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if Spessy agrees with
But
that take.
he has an interesting hand where he could go double one drop on two. The problem with that is I think I agree with that. Like you keep the Diablo for later when either of them get hit, you at least quest and they have to answer it, and it might gain two
Hmm.
more. So this way he's gonna I think he's gonna ink the goat. I think he has to, even though he might be trying to like hold it as long as he can.
Yeah.
He's either inking goat or whatever he draws, so he can ink place me next turn, ink place me Diablo, or a better one drop if he draws it. So
Gotcha.
like that's like a really good curve he wants to do. Um, and you'll see a lot of these aggressive decks really high on ones and twos, so they can go double two drop on turn four or two drop one drop on turn three. You don't need the three drops necessarily, although they quite help with singing songs.
And he does have that song in hand. Hopefully, I think it can have some value for him because I know he feels bad. He keeps picking it up, and there's nothing you can do. You just gotta stare down this uninkable mess in your hand. But it is it is what
I
it
mean,
is.
it does things, and
It
he
does.
just doesn't want it now. He wants to draw it. I don't know about you, but I've lost to Ruby Sapphire quite a few times. I
Hmm.
did it on stream at NA Continentals. I got to 19 lore and lost the game. My top, I had it planned that all I had to do was draw any character and I could quest out and I would win, and I drew Cove. And then I got into
Mm.
the position that every character I played for the rest of the game after that was answered. And that is where cards like
Like, this is my family.
This Is My Family and Gathering Knowledge like shine. Because you're like, oh, family, draw, doc, draw two, go. Like,
Strong. All right, so we get to the Grandma Tala, who's going to be able to check down this board as we get into the Benja. And Benja popping Popsicle isn't the worst thing, and he's also quested for two as well. Let's see if Spessy elects to go with that line, or we're going to hang on to this goat even longer. Maybe you can put the Smee down. You can put down the bird now if you want it. I don't know. Let's see how he breaks this down. I love these intricate plays here, and he's approaching the mid-game point because this is where it gets critical. These are
it's
where your decisions matter and what you put down to the inkwell.
it's crazy.
You could win or lose the game literally right here, and it's
There's a
always really
chance
cool to see how it
that's
works out.
there's a chance Spessy pushes the Benja to answer the item to shut off Flaversham. But what he would walk into is Coil, Ink, Brawl Smee, Banish.
Hmm.
Or trade Tala with Smee and then just Brawl the Benja to answer two more lore. And then Spessy has nothing. Because
Yeah.
it really depends on if Spessy pops this Broom or not. If Spessy is just like, whatever, I'm going to quest with Broom and Smee and play Benja, then he's probably challenging Broom, brawling Smee, leaving
Hmm.
Benja in play because Benja will get answered hopefully in a turn or two to Sisu. But Sailor also kind of has like a kind of rough spot. If Spessy does answer this popsicle, that means that Flaversham might have to eat Coil to draw cards, and
Hmm.
he's going to have to draw more.
To even make it to that Sisu. Like there's going to have to be a refill here soon. So this is very interesting. This is a critical spot. So I understand that you got to slow down just a little bit to kind of make this critical decision. But at the same time, these matches are not timed, so you do have to respect your opponent. And let's keep this thing moving a little bit as you're deep, deep, deep in the vault trying
Do
to come
you
up with the best
think?
possible play.
Do you think you would like this more if it was best of five, like in
In the
NA?
LCCC as best of five, I think that that might be a little, maybe the finals or maybe the top four we can go best of five, but I think throughout the entire double elimination as a best of five, I think that might be a bit long in the tooth. I would love it personally because I would just
If
love
we're
more
only
matches.
doing if we're only doing one match a day, I
Yeah,
would
I
prefer
mean, I would
best of
love,
five.
I would love more content. I would love more, just more reps too, and just seeing these players play. Because every time I participate in these LCCCs, I feel as if I'm getting better because these guys are really really good. These guys and gals are really good at this game, and just seeing their
My
thought process
bandit is
live,
knocking on my door.
I think it's critical, very important. All right. So now Spessy is going to go for it. We're going to go ahead and get down the Smee. We're not going to go with the Benja play. We're going to play the Smee, quest the Smee, play out the Chernobog, and then we're going to kick it back on over to Sailor. And then we're going to go ahead and get the Sapphire Coil online. So now we deploy the Sapphire Coil, and things can get a little twisted when you start coiling, as we will coil up. We will reduce the SME, and then Grandma Tala can clean up the SME quite cleanly. And that is a true power of the Sapphire Coil. If you're taking down a card that usually would go 1-for-1, and you're able to reserve your ink to play the Brawl to take out another character. So that is a true power of Coil. Usually Grandma Tala will trade with the SME. That play happens all the time. Now no more with Sapphire Coil. So
Coil coming in being like, nah, that ain't a trade, son. That's just removal.
That's great. That's good. That's good.
They
Fair
have to
adjacent.
play a card. They had to play the coil, and the coil itself is negative card advantage. It does nothing without other things.
But
like
you got to just
ink to activate it. You have to then have the removal or the character. Now, granted, it's easy to ink. It's easy to have removal. It's easy to have characters a challenge. But these things, like, they line up. It's just like Rapunzel. Well, it's not as good as Rapunzel, but I mean that, like, it's super good when it's good, but how many games have you played that your opponent doesn't allow a Rapunzel trap? There's a reason people storm their own characters. And Spessy was patient and got slightly rewarded for it, I would say.
I know that was a heads up. That was definitely a heads up play, because that Benja could have hit the popsicle, and then Coil could have just ran you down for the rest of the game. So
but Sailor is in a great spot.
Oh, for sure.
He gets to just play Medusa. Oh, he flips it. He's just like, come on, give me the ink. Give me the ink. I mean, that's not a card he wants to ink, but at the same time, like, I think holding the Flaversham might be better.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, how insane would it be to get the hero into the inkwell right now and just say, just say whatever.
He has to draw 2 more cards to ink to play the Sisu, which doesn't do much. I think he has to keep this Flaversham.
Yeah. So
the question is, what if he Flavershams this turn? No.
Flaversham now? As Sailor will also take a trip into the thought vault, little brain palace journey.
In those, like, 2 seconds, he, like, swapped 5 cards out, and although his hands didn't move at all, like.
As he's thinking about it. Excuse me. And we did mention too before your mic was on that Sailor has the Maleficent mat that Spessy wishes he had in his deck. That's very ironic. I don't know if he did that as a troll, or is he doing that as he's being serious. As Grandma Tala will trade with the Smee this time, as now the board is clear. That's pretty funny.
Board's clear. He gets to draw cards. But he has 4 ink.
He does have 4, so now he can get Benja. He can Benja the popsicle here, and Hiram looks so much worse now. I think maybe your play was correct.
Just also, yeah, it's weird. Like, you want to play Benja. I think he's thinking about singing the song first to draw an inkable, and then playing Benja if he draws the inkable, and if he draws another uninkable, then just playing the Gather.
Ooh, so he gets to the White Rose
over the Rose, right?
I
this
think
is
so.
Brutal for our hero Sailor. But
and at that, so now Hiram's looking a little bit worse as we get another draw. We'll go another Medusa off the top. So Medusa gang back to back, taking down Benja again. Back to back Medusa, back to back Benja. Love to see it if you're Sailor. And now you got a strong board presence as these goats are about to start raining down. So pay 4, slam goat, game 1, pass.
Coil? Coil would require an ink still, though. It's kind of rough. It's brutal to have to play Sail, but he needs that.
And there it is. Look at that.
Literally that. Does it hit an inkable that he wants to ink?
Oh, yes, it does. Oh, my goodness.
Of all the cards to hit, you're like, get this Tipo out of here.
He's too good.
And then he hits.
And he's life. He's too strong.
Visions.
Oh, my goodness. What a series of draws, dude. Sailor is too strong. As you're going to.
This does not feel good. No one likes losing to Ruby Sapphire when they're doing this, and it's why it's such a good deck.
Oh
It's
my
just like,
goodness.
oh, we're dooming and glooming, and then one popsicle like just goes.
But that was a series of chain. That was a series of unfortunate circumstances for Spessy there, as we went sail into
He's a lot
Popsicle,
worse.
into Hiram, into the Pirate's Life, into a Medusa quest, and now you're gonna have to. You're
He's
stumbled
one,
on your
two,
back foot.
three, four,
As
five. He has 5 uninteractable, so he's at 17-ish lore. If he can get that extra, or 17, 13-ish, if he can get that extra 7.
mm-hmm.
He drew another popsicle.
Look at that. So he's really, really humping and pumping now. He's got the engine flowing. He's doing the Ruby Sapphire. He's really feeling it, playing with some speed and some tenacity as he's trying to get to. We'll set up the Sapphire coil number 2 as these two Medusas are looking ready to munch on some goat, it seems, as we will go ahead and ink. No, we'll play the Vision first.
So this also makes it seem like he might have had to have drawn into the brawl.
Yeah.
So then he gets to keep the shark.
Ink sail. We'll put minus, looks like, and we will hit the goat, brawl it, and then clear it. That's just 2. So I give you 10, it looks like, but 10, and you're holding 2 and you're holding 3 in hand.
7 more. But he's gone through 2 of the cantrip songs. Chromacon would actually be very good for him. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Oh,
So he's
yeah.
at
So
14 lore. And his snake gets to put him at 15. It's an interesting game.
you got to bounce it here.
I don't know if there is more LCC matches today. I don't.
Yes, there is actually.
Oh,
They're going to be
oh.
one. We got the ICL going tonight. After the ICL, you got myself and Rud Rose. We're going to have Mr. Bivens and Diego Saz 9001 are going to be playing tonight. And the late night show, it's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you tune in to that. I'll be in the booth holding it down 10 p.m. Eastern, myself and Rud Rose.
Say instead of the post ICL show is going to be jumping into the LCCC match. Nice.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be nice. The late night show. So stay tuned.
I'm assuming it's 2 NA players.
It is. It is.
Which would be why they can play at 10 p.m.
Yeah. I was about to say, because I was like 10 p.m. I saw the time. I was like, wow, I'm down with that. I like a little late night grind. I'm down with some late night activity. So let's do it. As
What's
we'll,
the? Oh,
we'll ink the brawl. We got another coil. We got the happy as a clam down. We got Hiram questing, and it looks like Sailor is just on his way, just trying to get exerted, trying to get loose, trying to get some lore, and trying to get out of here and steal this thing before Spessy can find some more answers. As Pete is not as huge as he usually is in this type of
not
situation.
with Sisu.
Yeah,
Like the Sisu is gonna come in and do some rude stuff.
I guess you up to 15, but this double coil Sisu is about to just pack your bags and send you right on into game number 3 here, it seems, as this might be too much to overcome. As
Japanese Enchanted Maui, perfect timing because we needed an inkable.
And he is in the inkwell. Oh, that card looks so nice. I like the Japanese cards so much. I love them so much. I think they're so cool. And we're breaking one of the coils. Okay. I was thinking for sure maybe he didn't have, did he have the ink? He had the ink to
He already inked.
Okay, he did ink. Oh, he already got the effect off the coil, so I guess you don't need it. Never mind. And then you could just play this Sisu and yeet the whole board, and the game pretty much comes to a screeching halt right there at that moment. In a little under 90 minutes from now, there will be a second match, LD versus Domingo. I got to get the schedule. I don't have the full schedule.
Ooh,
I think I'll work on that. I'll work on that tonight too and just get that added in and maybe put it into the stream so we can know.
Make sure we rate it.
LD versus Domingo. We can find out. Let me find out right now, and I'll pull that up and we can share. As they're still cooking right here. It looks like Spessy is pretty much on his last resort right now, just trying to find a way, never giving up, always playing it through, which I do appreciate. And it's Cobra.
Cobra's
okay. Cobra
17. All right, so if he plays Cobra, discards to Pete, and Sailor does nothing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He goes to 19 lore, passes the turn, and Spessy draws
This is my
Gathering
family.
Knowledge.
No, this is my family into a gathering knowledge.
Or this is my family into Rose, or two in a row, or a Merry Weather.
Yeah,
Marin
Honey Marin.
Melon Weather?
Honey Marin. We had it. It was Honey Marin. Honey Marin.
We had it, we forgot it.
Just
You know
so
what? Let's just pop up the deck list. Honey Marin. There
Honey
we
Marin.
go.
Mary,
Mm,
we're terrible.
that's not how you get lethal, Spessy.
I think he's just trying to get another guy up and then set up that play. Yeah, this is
But
pretty cooked.
But
This
this
doesn't.
can't. It's impossible for him to get 5 lore, right?
Well, he can
Question mark.
draw. He can if he gets. So I think he's trying to set himself up for a top deck. This is my family to a draw into a Pete quest. Well, Pete needed to quest, obviously, but that didn't
Yeah.
happen.
The
Yeah,
character
he would.
needed to quest no matter which one he played, so I
Yeah,
mean, we knew it wasn't going to happen.
yeah.
But
And he had another snake anyway. So that's going to be a
he's like,
GG.
play discard, play discard.
He just quest out and GG. All right, so I'm gonna pull up the schedule real quick so we can kind of see where the LCCC action is going to be for everyone who's interested. I love the LCCC. I'm a huge fan of the LCCC. So it's going to be, like I said, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. You got myself and Rudrose are going to be streaming the Zach Bivens versus Diego Saz match, level 9001, two phenomenal players. And
That's gonna
then
be on your channel.
That's going to be on my channel. Okay. And then tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, you have Kurt Spice and Theo Time. That's going to be on Earl Meister's channel with Earl Meister and Y Breezy. And then on, let's see, on the 14th, we have, who is this? Mo and Fedamico are going to be playing. That's here on your channel with you and Dan on the 14th at 10 a.m. Another early one. Oh man, can you handle that, Luke? Can you handle that 10 a.m. start time? Are you ready for that?
10 a.m. for me? It's
No,
like
10
11
a.m.
for you.
Eastern.
So it's 11 for me.
No, it's earlier because
No.
you're Central. 10 a.m.
Oh, wait.
East. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
8 a.m. 9 a.m.
That's
9
fine.
a.m.
I have to wake up
Okay.
at 7 a.m. normally, take my kid to school.
Okay.
But that's this week, so I will have to actually set an alarm for that. For some reason, my kid is off of school for an entire week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I need to set a 5-minute timer to make sure that the ad goes off during the break. I messed it up last time, and as soon as the break started, I was like, oh, ad. Like, let's get this out of the way. And so it doesn't happen during the match because I haven't streamed in 2 days, but somehow I have 0 snoozes.
Oh, and that's when they're talking about. So there is going to be another stream going into the Earl Meister. We're going into the Earl Meister, and Rudrose are going to be on Earl's stream here March 12th at 3 p.m. Eastern. That is going to be LD versus Dom. So everyone tune into that. I think the LCCC is great. I think you get a nice sneak peek of what the meta is going to be like. And this one is also very interesting too, because after each round, the players are allowed to change their deck list. That didn't happen last time. So the new changes are going to be double elimination. And after each round, the players will be allowed to switch their deck list, but they have to stay in the same colors that they had that they've been using. So it gives players a lot of opportunities to, as the meta changes, as the meta develops, they can change their strategies and add new cards in. And that's just going to help everyone else to see what they're doing and to get different takes on what it is. So I think it's a great include, a great change. Excuse me. As it looks like Sailor's hand is not great. That is not an idealistic start. I believe that's a post-alter start as well. I missed what was sent back, but this hand looks absolutely heinous. He's going to have to work hard to get out of this situation. He's going to need the deck to be very favorable as well, as that hand is looking the opposite of groovy, unless he has not sent back yet. I don't call. I was looking at the Discord trying to get the LCCC information, but that bad boy is looking Hopefully he hasn't altered already. I don't think he has. He's looking way too confident and calm because I'd be freaking out right now had I ended with that hand. So he's looking way too chill. So I don't think he has yet. Unless he has, and he's just succumbing to his wounds and feeling the doom spreading already. Looks like Spessy is thinking of how the play is going to go, trying to manage these Petes. Pete is a great card in this matchup, especially later down the stretch. As we're continuing to think, and Spessy is going to go ahead and alter 3. So Sailor has not altered yet, so that's a great sign. And he's just probably going to send it all. Let's see. I'd probably get it all. I'd probably get it all out of there. What do you think on this?
You would have altered Spessy's whole hand?
No. From Sailor's point of view.
How much did he alter? Oh.
Yes.
He agrees.
Yeah.
I assume there was no turn 2 ramp.
He had turn 2. He had no turn anything. He had turn nothing. He had like his earliest play was like a turn
Honeymelon
3
Weatherman. Yep. That's the name.
Please don't do that. Malicious, please don't do that. I'm trying to learn these names and you're about to jack me up. It's going to make it even worse. Please, I'm begging you, don't do that.
All right. He's on the draw. He didn't hit turn 2 ramp. But he has Coil. Spessy has Benja.
It's gonna be an interesting match. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. If you guys like what you see, make sure you keep following the LCCC. Shout out to Pavel. Shout out to Pixborn, and make sure you throw a follow. If you haven't followed, all the new people in here, make sure you guys are following the Wonder Twitch as well. The ICL is something that's also happening tonight as well. So if you like this kind of stuff, you'll also probably like the ICL as well. Just another way to see competitive players do their thing. So tune into that. It'll be happening tonight, and then it's gonna be so. Today is just a jam-packed Lorcana Wednesday. Okay, so stay tuned and keep it locked. Don't touch that dial and get your seat backs up and upright and wake up. Okay. Don't be out here sleeping either. Everyone's sleepwalking over here on this Wednesday. It's hump day. Let's lock in as Spessy is trying to get the dub, trying to steal one here from Sailor, who is probably odds on favorite, probably one of the people to at least top this tournament or potentially win this tournament. He's a very strong player. And Spessy taking a dub off of Sailor in a match here in the early rounds of the LCCC would be huge for him. Not so much for Sailor, huge for EU as well, to put Sailor down into the loser's bracket in round number 1.
I was like, oh, I'm going to put the team logo for Sailor up here, completely forgetting that that's where the victory cards go.
It's okay. It's okay. We get victory. Maelstrom all day. Okay. Maelstrom every day. Maelstrom opportunity. We gotta be non-biased. Okay. Non-biased in the booth. As we're going to go ahead and send the giant Cobra down, play the Chernobog. Spessy's not hanging on to any of those. This is my family this time.
So
leaving those in the deck.
It does look kind of advantaged for Sailor, but at the same time, for Spessy, because of the Benja, the lack of a turn 2 jump, but he doesn't really have card advantage or reach. So if he doesn't play those types of cards, like there's a world that he just gets shut off around like 10 lore, and then kind of like what happened last game. Is it the oh my
goodness. Look at that, dude. What
Better lucky than good. Best to be both.
Sailor's cracked, dude. He's cracked insane. Sailor is cracked insane with that sale right there on the timeline.
Benja, my Coil? Not today, friend. Not today.
That is pretty good. That is pretty good for Sailor to come on in and hit that sale.
I dare you, Sailor. Ink that sale this piece. I dare you to.
I think he's trying to keep the Vitalosphere. He's trying to keep the
I think he's
coil
deciding between those two, which he wants to ink. The Vitalosphere and the Visions.
And he does get to the sale. So still, the sale is great. That'll allow you to get to the Grand Mortala. That'll allow you to get, and he got to how far I'll go too. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's not the best in this type of matchup, but it's still a pretty good card. Adds another to your Inkwell, get one to your hand.
Being able to Flaversham and then sing Sales, like, not bad. There's also a world that if Spessy blows up the Popsicle, then he plays Grammatala.
I even think the Grand Mortala might be favorable over here right now anyway, just to get that body to swing on something if you need. So we'll see how Sailor breaks it down because I'm always interested to see how these Ruby Sapphire players do it. When you have Hiram and Grandma Tala in this type of matchup, which one do you prefer? Because when I'm playing Ruby Sapphire, I feel like I get that one wrong very consistently, and
I think it's
I
board
just yeah
status. Like
yeah
it depends on if you have to challenge, if
mm-hmm
like kind of there. Like if they have a bunch of characters and are beating down, the Grammatala can be better because it gives you a card right away. Whereas if you
mm-hmm
have to challenge with your Flaversham, it's drawing no cards if Benja happens.
yeah. So I'll be interested to see what that next turn looks like. But now it's on Spessy, and Spessy has a decision to make going into turn number 3. Is it ever? Are you afraid of Hiram that much where you can just binge this popsicle? I think it still might be worth it. I think just having that popsicle, having the threat of Hiram, since you have 0 lore, especially Hiram is a fine play to go into right now, and then get the 2 cards and then potentially sing. So I think cracking that popsicle right now, I think might be a good value. Or you can go 2
I think
characters
it's
here.
fair. So if he's gonna ink a Benja, I don't think he can play a Benja here. I think he has to play the 2-drop and the 1-drop,
Mm-hmm.
and try to go fast.
Okay.
Are they? Is their lore counts not working?
Um, it might not be working. Okay, so we'll have to keep score onto ourselves. I don't know what the actual score is because sometimes Pixelborn does glitch. The
So he played followers on turn 1. He quested for 1. He played this. Then on turn 3, he quested. So he's at Spessie's at 4.
okay, I'll try to keep score myself in the booth. So we got Spessy at 4, and we got Sailor at 0 still. Yeah, I think sometimes there's a glitch. Maybe they might have to do a little quick reset to get the scores right, but we're still on top of it. As we'll just
Oh,
go back
I
and come
think
back
they're
in.
they're trying to fix it for us here.
Okay, nice, 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 nice. But in the interim, let's hop back into the chat and let's see what's cracking as everyone is lit,
There
lit,
we
lit
go.
for game number 3. Everyone is lit for the game 3 of the round 1 of the LCCC. I love to see it. Make sure you guys get your predictions in. Who do you think is going to win the game number 3 in this all important round number 1? Right now, I would call this game state quite even. So who do you guys think is going to win in the future? Coming from the future, everyone's got a lot of Sailor supporters out there. We have some Spessy supporters out there. And it looks like we're going to continue to aggress the board. Grandma Tala was the choice here to try to fight back for some of that tempo, as we stated. And it looks like the Hiram actually made its way into the inkwell. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Yeah, we had to get out of there just to fuel this Grandma Tala. And you're trying to set up this Maui that next turn. It would have been really cash money if you could have had the Maui down behind that Sapphire Coil, which is also gone now. No, Sapphire Coil's back there. I see it behind the how far I'll go. And so, wow, this is a pretty good turn again. Spessie's really in the think tank here, trying to decide
His
what the best course
choices.
of action is.
So it's like if you turn in both of your cantrips to draw, your onboard clock greatly shrinks.
Mm-hmm.
You go from 6 lore to 2 because he's definitely. You actually go to 0. He doesn't know that, but we know that there's a Maui. So he'll go to whatever he has in play here. Probably. Maybe Benja. It's tough. Do you? I guess we're drawing ink so we can afford to ink. I was like, do you just play the Benja and keep gather in hand and try to like use every scrap of card advantage you have,
Mm-hmm.
or are you inking Benja and playing? Okay, so we're playing. Yeah, we're trying to take advantage of every piece of lore we can get right here, and that's kind of what this deck has to do. It's like that changes things drastically for him.
And it
Uh,
might be tough though. So now he's going to have this Sapphire Coil that is
it's.
going to be set up, and I
I
think
actually
that
think
could be enough to run away with it.
he's got it now. He inks goat and plays this because of the Chromacon. It
Mm.
allows him to just like dump everything, and Sailor's going to have to answer it every turn. And he's at 10 lore, which is a bit. He's going to go to 13, 14, 15 with a card in play that over the course of 3 or 4 turns might give him everything he needs. And Sailor is a little far behind.
And is it time to? Will you have time to even make it to the be prepared? Yeah. So both Smees are down. And that leaves you with a total of 3 right now, with 2 in hand
But
and a Chromacon.
but this is one reason why I like Doc more than Chromacon, because the Chromacon might just give Sailor the pirate's life he needs, right? Like
True.
it
Very
might
true.
actually give him what he needs.
Give him the be prepared, give him the pirate's life, give him the ink, give him the whatever, because he could in theory still be bricked unplayable with uninkable cards, and then you just give him the answer he needs. A little technological indifference. We're getting back into it. The players are still grinding, as it looks like Spessie's going to be on the approach. He's got the Diablo, the Chromacon, and Gathering Wisdom. Excuse me. Quest up, go to 13. Maybe he leads this Diablo. Diablo Chromacon doesn't seem half bad,
I think you
perhaps.
play Chromacon and activate it and see what you get.
Hmm.
Because you might get a good 2-drop you want to play over the Diablo. You might just get a bad inkable that you don't want at all that you can ink and then play Gather and Diablo. You do get to draw a card as well off of the
The
broom
broom. Oh yeah.
if you want. You might not though. Like you, because of Chromacon, you might just leave it in play, and because we know Maui's eating Benja,
But he
so there's a
also could.
world
He
that the
also have
broom
that
stays
Medusa
in
that's
play
coming
for a
in.
turn. He doesn't know
He doesn't
about
know
that,
that.
but yeah. Like I think you just go double Diablo pass here. Don't draw. I would not draw here.
Let's see if he draws.
Nope.
No trigger. Wow, Spessie's locked in, dude.
Nope.
Spessie's feeling it. He's feeling exactly what you're saying, and he goes. He does exactly what it is. As we're still having some connectivity issues, we're getting it. We're getting it ready. Yo, shout out to behind the scenes. Shout out to the judge. Um,
There's a lot of reach in this list.
we're getting it. We're getting it going. We got S John 03. What's S John's actual name? I'm so used to these handles. And Ellie, we got Ellie, we got Phil in the building. Pavel's in there holding it down too. So shout out to all the judge and all the staff and everyone making this thing go, keeping it
What's
rocking.
John's real name? It's John.
Is it S John? I say S John. I saw the S John. Is it just straight John? That's what's up.
Uh, like
Well, shout
I'm
out
gonna
to John.
butcher his last name if I try to say it. I want to say it's like
Okay.
Sato or
Okay.
that's wrong. I'm saying that just because it's
It's
making
honey.
me think of
It's
it.
honey.
I
It's
know
it's 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 John Honey Weather Lemon, dude. That's what it is.
I know we
Got
have
it.
player cards of them.
I was way off. All
John
right.
Honey Melon Weather.
Yeah, that's what it is. As we'll continue to draw, so it's coming together. The plan is coming together. We are going to get a double quest in with these two
Santos.
Diablos, and then
It's
we'll
John
play another
Santos.
broom. And this is not looking out of the woods yet for Spessy, who's going to be able to gather for 2, go up to
Oh,
15.
I kind of think Spessy might win this game. I'm pretty sure Spessy is pretty advantaged here.
Hmm.
There has to be a pirate's life from Sailor.
A part of the
He
a part
really
of the
needed
equation.
like if he could have sang Pirate's Life and then played B prep here, he's in a good spot. Otherwise, like that's a lot of. I mean, I guess he gets to take both down, but then Spessy draws 2 cards, and
Yeah,
most of Spessy's cards gain a lore.
I think is it even worth probably brawling this broom as well, just to get it off the board, and then maybe you can get it somehow far all goes going through as well, and maybe you get some more.
I
How much ink
think
do you have?
I think he's
Or is it
going to have to ink the coil. And so he's not going to go for the how far. He'll go for the visions.
okay? That makes a lot more sense. Just looking for the pirate's life, because I think if you can land a pirate's life
Yeah,
here, I think you might be okay adjacent. I mean, maybe not
because I don't.
completely good, but for
So
sure okay.
if he hits B prep like he did, oh, but he can't play it right now. I was thinking
No,
he could like sing both How Far I'll Goes and play B prep in the same turn, but obviously he cannot do that.
yeah, because he definitely played the vision, and I don't think I think he inked already this turn as well. So we're just gonna keep refreshing, getting it right,
I
getting the
assume the
lore.
lore counts and inks weren't
Oh, so we
adjusted,
got
right?
Spessy at 17. Wow.
Okay, that
So
changes things
that changes
drastically.
everything. Holy, that changes it all.
Yeah, it
Okay.
looks like Spessy's gonna win this.
Yeah, there's really not a lot you can do to stop that. Unless because you might have to brawl. You can brawl the broom. You can challenge and banish both of the Diablos, and then you can um hope. You would have to hope. Yeah, and then you can come in with
You just don't have more goat things. Well, there's Legion.
oh, that's it. That's literally the game right there. Three
Good thing
cards.
that's not a Maleficent.
Good thing.
I mean, he
And
has
look at that.
the honey melon that he could use anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
And
gonna use that instead too, because he's like, this isn't
look at
Maleficent.
that. GG's, man. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. And Spessy gets the dub with the $40 special. It's going to come on in and take down Sailor. I didn't realize that the life was off that much. Shout out to the refreshing, but it seems like Spessy came out and he was just able to burn, 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 turn sideways, get loose, get squirrely, and get to the absolute Dublinsky as Sailor goes down in round number 1. And um, Spessy's got to love to see it. Sailor's gotta be like, man, I wish I'd have drawn a little bit stronger there. I wish I'd have just had it go a little bit different, but it is what it is. You have to accept that. It's all going to be a part of the game. All right. But I think we're probably going to get both players to come in and say a couple of things and talk to you guys real quick. From my end, thank you guys for coming in. I'm sure Luke appreciates it as well. We do appreciate it. The LCCC is a special time of the year.
I think we'll have a little bit of an after show for a little bit, JDZ, after
Okay.
the interviews. I'm going to mute you here, so you're going to have to unmute in Discord. All right, Sailor. Kind of a rough game 1 for sure. In game 3, it kind of just looked like Spessy had everything he needed. What are your thoughts on the match so far?
Yeah. Game 1 was obviously me low rolling with no turn 2 ramp, but also a lack of shark and in general the cards that I needed. Game 2, even though I didn't have the shark again, I was able to deploy enough Medusa for it to work, but still not exactly what I wanted to do. I could never do the turn 2 ramp, turn 3 ramp, enter 4 shark, which was my objective in the matchup. In game 3, my starting hand was absolutely abysmal, so I shipped 7. Didn't find the turn 2 ramp, but I was on the draw and a popsicle, so I figured between the 3 next draws, maybe I have a chance, and I did. But then he had like a very, very, very good draw, like the 2 Smees. Maybe if I had specifically Tipo on 2 and then find a Pirate's Life there at the end, I could have had a chance, right? That's why I was keeping Vision for so long. Just like envisioning that after the Tala, Maui, Medusa, I would be able to find some time to actually play the Vision and sing the Pirate's Life with the Medusa. Which would have been potentially pretty good there. I was set up for Big Sisu next turn, right? So as long as I could have found some number of Pirate's Life or Shark, I think I could have made it, even against his best draws, but obviously it was pretty tough there. He dumped his whole hand and then drew the Karmicon to refill. I felt favored into it, but obviously as it is with TCGs, anything can always happen, and obviously, especially played pretty well. So yeah.
For sure. That is the nature of trading card games. And you are going to be back on the CC on Ice. Have you had any other decks that you've been playing in this set 8 or set 7? Excuse me, set 7 meta. Have you tried anything with items? I know you're going to be red blue through and through, but have you tried any other strategies? And I know that throughout the rest of this tournament, you're able to change your deck. Is there any other things you've been looking at in this set 7 meta in terms of Ruby Sapphire?
Yeah, I have played other decks than Ruby Sapphire for sure. I always try to be on top of the other decks as well, either to know how to play against them, or just to see if there's something very, very good that I can play myself. I think Ruby Sapphire and Sapphire Steel are both at the top of the meta, and they're pretty 50-50 into each other. And Ruby Sapphire is, I think, better when it's not the best deck in the format, right? It's just like go a little bit more under the radar. Not exactly, but like if Sapphire Steel is the best deck and people are targeting it, then you have a good opportunity to go a different route and don't go item yourself too much so that you don't get the retaliation out of the 8 towards the Sapphire Steel item list. But at the beginning of the set, I was certainly trying a more item-focused Ruby Sapphire build. I had some very, very good results early on against like testing mates and stuff like that. With a version that was playing the 2-drop Gaston from set 1 into the coil, being able to take out the SME, right, and surviving the trade, and then potentially like Quill on the following turn and like surviving a Cobra, right? Like it was putting a ton of work. But as soon as Bell was revealed, and everybody was playing Cindy Storm and in their Sapphire Steel deck, it didn't really work enough. Right?
You put them right back into the bulk bin and said, "Hey, maybe another day for you guys.
Yeah,
not right now. You're done. You're done.
See you later, Gaston." But
Right.
It was very promising. But yeah.
Okay, but I just want to thank you for playing. But I'm gonna kick it over to Spessy, who's here now, who got to the dub. A lot of people thought you were the underdog. A lot of people thought you didn't really stand a chance in this matchup, especially without your coveted Maleficent in there. Okay, you didn't have the Maleficents in your deck. We thought it was over for you, but you somehow managed to find a way. The This Is My Family actually came through quite huge. They looked fairly decent. Can you just talk about that deck? What made you bring that deck? Why are you playing a $40 deck? Is it a personal choice? Are you trying to make a statement? Are you trolling? Like, what is going on with you in that deck? Can you just talk about it really quick?
Yeah, I mean, I think firstly, like, commiserations to Sailor, because I think luck was very much on my side in this one. Obviously, didn't start that lucky with losing the die roll, but that was kind of negated by the fact that Sailor bricked game 1 in terms of like missing ramp. And then in game 3, like, I honestly hit the best curve really I could have. I didn't test the matchup a ton, but I did like a few practice matches against Moyen. So big shout out to him for helping me practice. Obviously, a good friend of mine. And I lost. I went in my testing. I went second twice and lost both times, and I went once first and lost. So I knew I was kind of up against it, but I kind of understood some of the mistakes I might have made. Like his half shark on the board can basically just chain actions with the Chromacon, for example, and he can gain like a ton of lore in a short space of time. Obviously, the Pirate's Life's there. But I do have like the tools to try and beat him, and I certainly got very lucky to win game 1 with the fact he bricked. And I have to say, game 3, I don't think I could have drawn better. Like after my opening mulligan, I didn't have any uninkables in hand. Like you don't want the Gathering Knowledge and Family in hand. You don't want the Gathering Knowledge or This Is My Family, and I want the Chromacon as well. But the thing is, I kind of said that if I had Chromacon in my opening hand, I'm not sure if I would have kept it. I think I probably would have mulliganed it away and just hoped I drew it at the right time, because I felt like I was up against it. I didn't have to make that decision. I didn't draw it until like the perfect moment in this game. So I got quite lucky. I do think I made some nice plays. Like I had the Benja option on 3 to take out the Porpsicle, but instead I went for a second Smee and a 1-drop just to have a wider board and create basically 1 extra lore as well, right, and 1 extra threat. Because I made the read that with like 5 or 6 cards in hand, he's probably not going to play Hiram on turn 3 anyway, and he ended up inking it and playing Atala, and then the Benja came through the following turn. But basically I wasn't able to test before this tournament properly. I have like a bit of a self-made rule that I don't play until the cards are out, because obviously my job is as a content creator. I've been streaming like every day so far since the set's come out for like 8-10 hours, and I don't think I would have that same level of enjoyment of the game if I'd already been practicing before the cards were out. So while I hadn't been practicing, I did build so many decks, and it's always like I just tried to read like what is the average deck my opponents are going to be playing, and I very much expected it to be lots of Sapphire and Amethyst with Benjas and Peats is pretty good. It was the Giant Cobra really which made me want to play the like burn style of deck, which apparently we're now I'm trying to ship. We're calling it a story deck because in Lorcana, if you get to 20 lore, you get like a story star. So it's a story deck rather than a burn deck. That's what we're going with.
I like it. I like it.
But the Cobra obviously is a dual link card, so you can only play it in Amethyst Steel. It's kind of comparable to a Super Goof. It's not like light years ahead. The thing is with it, you need like a ton of cards in hand. And I looked at like Rabbit, it's too slow. I've played dock decks previously, but I just felt like I wouldn't really have enough cards in hand to actually get the Cobra performing that well with dock. I didn't really fancy dock decks in general. Particularly, you'll know I didn't even play the Maleficent because I thought she's going to be too weak up against Sapphire Steel. That was the kind of logic on that one. But yeah, I just felt like this deck had a lot of legs. I think Honeymarin's really strong. The Cobra, This Is My Family caught my eye, which I've turned out not to like too much in this one. But basically, the idea is you just gain a ton of lore early, which obviously Maleficent definitely helps, and then you lose the board in the late game. But with the Chromicon, you can just keep drawing more story cards, and you've also got the option of making a play like at 5 ink, you can go like Pete double 1-drop or something like that. And obviously that would stop B prep. Against Sailor's deck, with the coils and the Sisu, he might still be able to board clear me, but against most decks, that would give me like more questing power.
Right.
Like whatever way you play like these burn decks or story decks, as I'm calling them now, you're going to have like 50 Amethyst cards. So the question is really, it's like, what are the best cards in the game that you can pair with this deck? And I decided it was the Giant Cobra, which is obviously a purple steel card. Benja was like one of the last ones, but it was really Smee and Pete. Like if you play Ruby, you play Flynn Rider on 2, and Flynn Rider's just not very good this meta. And Pete's great this meta, Benja's great this meta, and Smee's the best 2-drop in the game. So that's what made me go for Amethyst Steel.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to interrupt you. But
What's that?
Smee's a nice second place.
Look, Wonderland. You gotta understand, Wonderland's big, all in on Doc. Okay, so you're being very offensive with your Doc slander.
So
I love Doc. I played Doc all our set, right? So
yeah, you drew the. We were talking in your game. You're like, you had plays, and I was like, well, I think Spessie's not gonna ink his goat. He's just gonna play the Benja, and he's going to try to get every bit of lore and advantage from his cards he can. And then you drew the Chromicon, and I'm like, nope, now he's inking and playing the 1-drop. He's going to go like as aggressive as he can because he's drawing 2 cards a turn. And you did exactly that. And like, honestly, I feel most of your plays, like 99.9% of your plays I would have done. The only thing I did not care for was when you sang Look at This, or All in the Family, or
yeah, and I think that play just shows you how bad the card is in this deck, because again, I had to submit this without playtesting, unfortunately. Look at this family, like it looks good on paper, but what ends up happening is it ends up just sitting in your hand and it's an uninkable. So I think the card is that bad in that position that I just wanted to get rid of it. I just didn't want it in my hand anymore, even though it was like 1 lore later. It basically nothing, right? It's terrible. I really don't like it.
So
but I just didn't want the card in my hand. I wanted like more options available to me, right?
It is interesting. Normally you don't want to sing it, but singing it on a 1 lore thing, you're basically just saying, I need to draw a card. And like, that's what you did. The only reason I didn't care for it necessarily is I thought you could have saved it maybe a turn.
I can see it.
It ended up not mattering. Like, you hard cast the next one, and I was like, yeah, I like that. Like, yes, that's exactly what he needs to be doing. This way he can quest with the rest. And like, you got exactly there. The other funny thing I wanted to note, 2 funny things, is when you shook one of them at the screen, I was just like, he's definitely telling his chat right now that this should be Maleficent and he hates the card. Was that what you were saying on your chat when you shook?
Yeah, look at this family is just really not good in this deck. Like, it looks good on paper, but the reality is it just sits in your hand, and
it's like
it doesn't do enough. Like the fact that I would sing it with the White Rose with Quest for 1 is just it's just not good. I think the card might have a place
but you want them later. You want to
exactly.
Like 6 or 7 ink. You want to play it, gain a free lore, play a new card. You do not.
But the reality is like, it's bad more often than it's good because it sits in your hand, and it goes back to like the Ed thing that he said after winning his DLC. You've got like inkable cards which you really don't want to ink. You know, like you really don't want to be inking like Pete's and that sort of thing in this deck in this matchup. So that's why I ended up singing it with the White Rose, because yeah, like if you have, the only way you would sing Look at This Family and feel happy about it is if you're singing it with a Reckless card, or if you've got like some action synergy, right? Like you've got a Muses on the board, or you've got something like Ratagan, which I think is like when you play an action, you gain a law. But in this deck, it's completely pants, and it just does not. It should not be in the deck.
Well, fortunately for you, during this round of LCCC, you will be able to change your deck list staying within the same colors going into that next round. So
what I'll be doing.
that could be some changes that you can make. But can I just hear some of your ideas? What you plan on bringing in? If you want to just kind of spoil some of your deck, I'll kick it to you, and then whatever you're willing to share, and then we'll kick it back to Sailor. See what changes he would make,
Yeah.
and then we can talk about that really briefly before we probably have to sign this thing up, as the next round is going to be starting here soon.
Yeah, I mean, part of it depends on who I think I'm playing against, because obviously there's some definite mind games. I don't know how clear it's going to be and how predictable it'll be to see who you're playing against. Obviously, I could switch it up completely. I could go for like a slower version of Amethyst Steel, where you like grind out the game, or I could go for like a dock deck. Most likely, I'll just stick with what I've got, putting Maleficent in the deck. But I do also have a spicy Jafar deck I cooked up, which if I went into the losers bracket, might have come out, but we'll have to see how I feel. I'll definitely test the Jafar deck some. Most likely, I'll just be playing this. I think the deck's the best way to play Amethyst Steel this set. I think you just go full story mode, as we're calling it. I really think that is going to be strong against the rest of the field who play Sapphire decks and are quite slow to get going.
Okay. How about you, Sailor? Any thoughts on what you're potentially playing in the next round? I don't without tipping your hand completely, but any cards that you're looking at, any text that you're looking at going into round number 2, because you're gonna have to grind the double elimination losers bracket here. So, what are your thoughts going into round number 2?
There's very many ways to build Ruby Sapphire, so I'm not too concerned about that. We're gonna be looking at like who am I playing against. Obviously, there's many ways to build it, right? So you can go more an item route, more tomatoes, less like dye, more pirate's life, right? That's all sorts of things. I'm pretty happy with the list that I submitted. I think it's pretty good. And I think it was the right call, even though I didn't know I would be facing Amethyst Steel. Yeah, just so to draw a little bit better next time.
Okay. So I'm hearing here first. Sailor said he's going to run it back. Okay, run it back. No, I'm kidding. So, gentlemen, I just want to thank both of you for providing a little bit of your time to the LCCC. It is becoming an incredible part of the game, and a lot of people have tuned in, and people really enjoy it. So your volunteership and your work to provide this type of research and study helps the greater Lorcana more than you probably ever know. So I do appreciate it. Thank you both for joining us.
I have one last thing to say, if I may, as well.
Yeah,
of course.
I also just want to echo that. Like, thanks to Sailor for the game. Like, pleasure playing against him. Thanks to casters, judges. Huge thank you to Pavel for organizing, but also for like this incredible software. And while a lot of people might be watching, I wanted to mention I've been moaning at Pavel for months and saying, please, can we get the hardcore ladder on Pixelborn Connect? And he's just added it. And I am calling out all the top players in the game to come play on Pixelborn Connect and see who can get rank 1 on the ladder, because I think it will be really fun for the community to get back chasing the top rank on the ladder. And I really recommend it. It's really, really fun. It's best of 3s. It's super, super fun. It's super easy to do. So I really encourage more people to get on and play, but also especially to the top players. I want to see like some really big names practicing on Pixelborn Connect. That would be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to also say thank you to the judges, to the casters. I'm sure 100% that you did a fantastic job, and thanks for everybody watching, and Pavel and everybody competing. So yeah, have fun in the LCC, and it was like a pleasure to just kick this off.
Absolutely. It was a blast to be here. And that was Sailor and Spessy for round number 1 of the LCCCC. Wonderland, it was a great time to be here with you, man. If you guys haven't done so, please make sure you're following this channel. There's so much high-profile Lorcana action that is taking place here. If you're just coming here for the LCCC, make sure you stick around. The ICL is also happening here. This is the home of the ICL. It's basically the same thing. It's very highly contested, competitive Lorcana action happening here. So make sure you guys are subscribed, and make sure you you guys are following this program. And also, just like Spetsy said, make sure you're getting on Pixelborn Connect. It's free to use. It is a lot of fun. You can meet a lot of interesting people. You can play the game as much as you like. So make sure you're supporting that. And also the judges and staff of the LCCC for making this thing a possibility. So I really appreciate it. I love being here. I love being a part of this. Hopefully I can continue to be a part of this as much as it is readily available. And I'm so excited to see what happens next. Luke, what do you got, man? I'm ready.
Oh man, I mean, we're about to probably just sit and chat for a hot while. The shout outs got done. Luckily, obviously, big shout out to Pavel and the judges, all the players who are playing. It takes it takes effort to set aside a point in time in your day. Like, people have jobs. We're not all content creators. Like, normally events are on the weekends, right? So like, people have to juggle their families and their jobs. And we're also doing it from like the NA versus EU, or just like half the players from each. So there's huge time constraints. So it's like really awesome that these players are able to set things up to give us this content to watch. So big shout outs to everyone who's doing it. That is just so awesome of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For
I'm
sure.
gonna
It shapes the
unmute
game, man. Game meta defining, meta setting. You know, people are going to watch this and they're going to make these decks for their set championships and for their local series and all that kind of stuff. So it's been really, really incredible. It happened last time. I'm certain it's going to happen again. All right. All right. All right. So you want to
All right. Yep. They can't hear you anymore right now. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. JDZ, undeafen yourself, and Video Ninja, they can't hear you. Undeafen and unmute yourself in Video Ninja.
Okay. Okay. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, but they're not going to hear you. I started a timer. We have 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm going to blink the stream, and we're going to go back to live time.
Okay.
So go use the bathroom, do whatever you want to do real quick.
I'm locked in. I'm here.
And you can disconnect from Discord.
Okay.
All right.
Sick.
I have a timer set. Because I know I'm going to have to go potty. I'm going to turn the stream delay off. Okay. I'm going to... Yeah, in 5 minutes, I'll just stop the recording fully, and then we'll re-go live.
Now, how do you do the blink the stream? You just stop the stream and restart it?
Yep, I go to settings, I turn off the delay, then I stop the stream, and then I restart it.
Okay, and does that just screw the viewership and stuff? Or
they have to refresh. They're either going to leave.
It's going to be on Earl Meister's channel. It's going to be at noon. I got to get these things. 3? What time is it? Let me look at the schedule one more time. I'm gonna get this right. I promise I'm gonna get this right. I should print this out and put it up somewhere and share it somewhere. Has the game scheduled, but it'll be at 12.
It's 3 p.m. Eastern, so 2 p.m. So in half an hour.
We're gonna
raid Earl Meister. So that gives us 30 minutes for me to open up the packages I got in the mail in the middle of the last round.
And I think we can yak for 30 minutes. Okay, there's a lot of things to talk about for 30 minutes. One thing we could do, we can give them a little introduction of the deck list. I don't know if you have those available where you can pull up some of the deck lists from the LCC, or maybe
we can do that
and go over the players.
Send them to me again like you did last time, and I'll just...
Yeah, I can. Give me a sec. I can send them to you. I'm gonna send you them one at a time, I guess, and you can just kind of go through them. The ones I have on my desktop, we'll start there, and then we can work it on around. Okay, so this one is going to be the deck that Zach Bivens is playing. This is the game that I'm going to be covering tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you're part of the late night crew, the late night crew, you can tune into that. I'll be streaming that live on JDZ Quest Twitch. It'll be Zach Bivens versus Mr. Diego Sass, aka level 9001. Okay, so this is Zach Bivens, and then here's Diego's deck, and we can do a little breakdown, analysis, thoughts on what you think these builds. I'll tell you what I think about them. You tell me what's the right way to think about them from your DLC champion perspective. Or you want to do the decks?
We should look at the Earl Meister ones.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go that. I was going to look at them all, man. We got like 30 minutes. We can hit them all. Let's see. Let's go.
Mail too, right?
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So it is going to be, that game is going to be, it's Mo, right? Let me look at the matchups, dude. Dude, I'm so bad at this. That matchup is going to be none other. Somebody help me out, man. Where's the chat? I need chat to come through, man. I need the chat to help me out, dude. I am struggling.
What do you
Luke.
need?
Who is the matchup? Who is it going to be? Is it LD and
it's
Mo?
LD versus
I know, Domingo. Is it Domingo?
Domingo. Okay. They use the Discord name, so I got confuzzled.
Okay. Me too. Is it LD and Domingo? Is that correct?
I do believe so.
I'll check. I'm gonna check one more time. I'm gonna check because I know where it is.
It's in table 6.
Table 6. Okay. We're cooking. We're getting there. Table number 6. All right. And Discord is frying my lunch meat, dude. And they're in the channel right now. Okay, so it is LD table 6. Bro, I suck so bad. I'm telling you.
All right, what happens when I go to my main page? Does this show things it's not supposed to? JDZ Cam, there he is. He's back. Although I need to cut off part of this green screen. All right. Can you see? I guess I'm still streaming my camera to you, right?
On the video?
Yeah.
Yes, I see your YouTube stuff.
Okay. Oh.
And I now see me.
I'm not supposed to show that.
Now I see myself.
Whoops.
Now you guys get a sneak peek of how the sausage is made. A little behind the scenes. A peek behind the curtain. Oh, if this is Domingo, if this is the I don't know if this is Domingo. Damonke is Domingo. That'll be one thing I would say. I'm like, look, if we're playing, if everyone's got, you got one name, either you're going to be your name or you're going to be your Discord name. That's it. You don't get to choose and switch it up. You can't be multiple things. You can be one thing. That's my one takeaway from all of this. If your name is Domingo, you're Domingo everywhere. You can't be Domingo here, something else in Discord, something else in Pixborn. You got to be one thing. That's it. Even if that's your real name. That's my one pet peeve. My one gripe is people with multiple names.
That my last name is getting changed to Wonderland.
I would love that. You can't be Luke. If I see anything and I'm like, oh, that's actually Wonderland, and it's not vVonderland, I don't know who that is. I don't know who Luke is. Get him out of here, okay?
Did say that we're using a W.
You're gonna use okay. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the W.
I decided on this before I ever even became a streamer, because like I don't care for my I strongly dislike my father's family, like his dad. I loved his mom. His mom was great. She divorced his dad for good reason. But so I don't want that name attached to me. Like at all.
And you got to pass it off to your kids too. That's kind of
yeah. So it's just like, you know what? We're gonna make a new name. But my wife was like, think of how many forms will get messed up because of the some people put it. Ooh, why is my camera gigantic?
All right, I believe that's not. I sent you the wrong day. There it is. There should be a Lorcana deck list, LD and Domingo. I believe that's Domingo. Domingo is Domingue.
Open this in a way that doesn't show my address. Or this, I guess doxing the store that sent it to me is okay. Maybe not. Probably not.
And I've never wanted a person to win more than this Domingo person. I want Domingo to win this whole tournament. I'm not even kidding. I am not even kidding. If we get those, if you see those decks, I want because this deck is very different and very cool. I'm always going to be attracted to the heat, the spice, the goo, the gobbledygook, the straight up raw spice. I love it. What do we got here? Okay. I love that. Domingo is the best. Whenever I hear Domingo now, I think of that Saturday Night Live skit that just came out. It is quite funny. I laughed the first time I saw it, and I laughed every time they've done it. They've redone it like 4 times now. I've laughed every single time. Let's go. That's a hit.
These are some very cheap foils I bought.
Okay.
Kind of upset that this is the package that showed up. They spent $10 shipping this, by the way. $10. I think that's this one.
I like that Iago card.
Oh, no, never mind. This package was $10 shipping, which was crazy to me. Okay,
I like that.
I don't know why I bought these cards. I hope it was cheap.
I mean, I like Devil's Eye Diamond. I like Kita. I like Iago. You got some good cards. Those are some good cards. Those are good cards. Those are quality cards.
This cost me $9.50. The most expensive card was this Kita at $1.25 or $1.50.
But my question is,
rest of-
why
Oh,
why are you
no.
buying just one
This was
of them?
$3. So, first of all, it's all the store had.
Okay.
Second of all, I'm gonna make a cube, and I'm gonna try to make it all foil.
Mm.
It's like an investment thing. I found that foil cards retain and hold value far greater and longer than non-foils. So when I resell, most of these cards, if I was to resell them later, are probably going to be worth 10 cents. Because these are foil, they might maintain 25, 50 cents. And if one of them, say Queen of Hearts, sees play, it could be like a $7 foil because it's a super rare. And I only bought this one for the 3. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
And I think
Osama.
that Iago is going to be playable sooner or later. I think Iago is going to pop off. They just need a little bit more support, and I think that card's going to be really, really good. I think.
Okay, I was
I
like,
don't know.
oh no, I just put my address on the screen. I need to get a P.O. box. And just get everything mailed to that, so that I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I 100% have a PO box for sure. Gotta have it. I do not dabble in that. Someone's gonna
This card
find.
cost 63 cents.
Yeah.
And it was a throw-in because when I buy cards, I look through to see what else they have to see if I don't know what I think about this packaging.
It looks pretty clean.
It's-
That's fine.
It's like a sleeve folded over, but I have to like rip it to get it. I guess I have
Just
to
give it a cut. Give it a little knife. You got a little knife?
Oh,
little knife ski?
let's not hit the play mat.
Get a little slice of knife. There you go. Now you're cooking.
But I bought it for that card. So I might have also bought some Prince Charmings and a full play set of Chief Bogo foil. I won't lie, I play tested a few games with it for fun against Sailor. And Sailor was playing Blue Steel. And it had like one of the better win rates. Like
Did it pop off?
The Hercules song.
The Return of Hercules?
Yeah.
Yeah. Into the Prince
against Blue
Prince.
Steel, because
Yeah.
the worst case scenario, they put in a Flaversham draw 2, but then you wipe their board. So it's just like a weird scenario that, like, yeah, they poop everything out, but they have no way to stop you from doing it. Kind of. They can hit the BOGO. So, like, they can Zeus the BOGO away, and that can be kind of brutal. But, like, draw 2, don't let them have double Zeus, I guess.
Yeah, it would
I mean, it's a
suck
combo.
though. Maybe if you do the combo and then you Return of Hercules, they drop Tamatoa down and that could suck a little bit, but it's not the end of the world.
I'm a little upset. I was hoping these packages would be enough good cards
Hey, Joselio asks 20.
that I could, like, play constructed games. Like, where are my Tamatoa? Oh.
Uh-oh.
Showed my address for a second.
Uh-oh. You're done.
All right, well,
You're cooked, man.
I ordered these after I ordered my Tamatoas, and I've had 2 of these show up. But this is a card that one of them I bought. The seller was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't actually have this card." Wink, wink. Ha 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 ha.
That's how they do.
Yeah, the card increased in value, so you want more money out of it, you jerk.
What do you think of that practice as someone who sells cards? Would you ever do something like that? Would you consider that as a viable strategy?
So I will not lie. Once or twice, I have misplaced a card. Like, actually been like, "Oh, I don't have this," or I was like, "Oh, I put this as near mint and it was light played." I will just mark it as sent and forget it, and then when they message me, I'll give them a refund. It's a pretty shit behavior, I am aware.
Mhm.
I will do that maybe 1 out of 300 or 400 orders, mostly because the times that I have not done it, the people I'm selling to have thrown gigantic fits.
Okay.
Like, it's crazy, but when I mark it as sent and it never shows up and I refund them, they're happy. But when I say, "Look, I mislabeled this" or something, they give me a negative review.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I mean, like, for the
cool.
practice where they like come in like
that's
like
terrible.
Oswald.
I never do that. I don't do that.
Yeah, like Oswald, he's $5 one day and he jumps to $35 the next day, and people ordered it for $5. You still ship it at $5, or you just there you
Yeah,
go.
I said, if they bought it, if I was willing to sell it for a certain price, I'm going to send it away at that price.
Okay, because I know people are. It's such a scumbag behavior that They do that.
Like I literally only do the other thing to maintain rating on my store. So like I will, if I sell this for 5, I'm going to send it for 5 because the rating on my store is worth more than the $40. Because if I get a 0 negative on my store, people won't order cards from me. And I'll have to maybe make a new store and restart everything. And I have like at least 10,000 sales. I have 8,000 feedback. And everyone's only feedback. And I have 0 negative, and I have like 10 neutral, and those are all from when I started selling, when I was not grading cards as well as I should have. Apparently, a lot of people who buy cards on TCG Player do not view cards the same way that TCG Player does. So although the cards, in my opinion, were exactly light play or moderately played based on the rating system, the people buying them did not think. So you basically have to overrate your cards. So like if you have a single,
or underrate. Yeah,
underrate. So like near mint, like kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's not mint. They don't have a gem mint. So if there's a small single white mark on it, that's still near mint, according to TCG Player. That is not a gem mint. It's not a 10, but it's not technically light play. But I will list it as light play now because people will complain. So on TCG Player, near mint means gem mint. Apparently, it means perfect condition.
But on the same side of that, I've had like instances where I order cards on TCG Player. I order like a moderately played or a heavily played sometimes, and it'll come in what I think is like mint in like LP.
Because they've
people
had
are doing that.
Complain.
Yeah.
The local store to me literally says that they will never sell a card as near mint.
Yeah.
Like every single card in their store is listed as light play, and it is near mint, but they got burned once, so they're like all against it. What is this? Free gift. What did I buy from this person that they are sending me? They're like, here's some junk from.
Let's go.
Like free games we don't need. Take these Pokemon dice.
Let's go.
Pokemon sticker. We got
that's a plus.
A lore counter and
that's a dub. Energy. That's huge.
My LGS actually has like a container full of these dice. I think these are the Pokemon Precon dice. We'll throw them in the jar. We'll put them in the dice jar.
That's huge, man. GG's. Nice. GG's.
And I'm assuming that this thing with the symbols on the back is like their store's logo. Oh, no, it's... Oh, is this... It's like a card separator from a trove, I bet.
Ah. I like that Scrooge McDuck. I think that card is going to be... I think when the smoke clears, I think that Scrooge McDuck is going to be the real winner.
Think it's going to be double Tamatoa?
I think it's right here.
Yeah, do you think these are both Tamatoas?
I don't know. Look, you bought it. I would hope if that's what you pay for, flip.
Dude, I made like 7 orders. There you 17 orders, so I don't know what's showing up. But yeah, I figured from all the freebies, it's got to be the $100 order, right?
Oh, yeah. How many Tamatoas did you end up getting?
4.
Okay.
I spent $203 on a playset from a few sellers. This one not come with a paper. This one didn't come with order sheet, or I put it somewhere, which is fine. Pretty sure I'll know who I ordered these 2 from. All right, let's show Domingo's deck list.
Yeah, pull it up, man. I want him to win. I want Domingo to win this whole tournament. I want Domingo to win it all. I want Domingo to make this a meta contending, meta busting threat. I want this card to. I want this deck.
Last set, right?
I don't think so.
Was he? Someone played this in the last one. I think it was Domingo.
A deck out strategy? You might be thinking about burn. I think the burn got played.
All right, I only glanced at it for a second. I didn't actually think it was that.
Oh, you thought it was the Rubian burn was played last set. This deck was absolutely not played last set.
I mean, I would say it's close to burn. All right, so we've got a pretty basic. Okay, Mad Hatter. Show me more. All right. Okay, you're right. All right, this is definitely Mill. Oh man, you're right. I want to see this played. I do want to watch this match.
I want to see this deck win really so bad. Matt, he got the Merry Birthday in there. He's got the Donald the Quacker in there. The Matt Harris Teapot's in there. Put the top card in. Well, I don't know how it's going to work. You're probably going to get your boots ran right up out of there with the quickness.
Like, can this deck deal with the boogeyman of the format? Like, imagine if Domingo just sweeps. Like, imagine if he just crushes.
I would love that.
LD.
Like, I'm talking. I would love if it's a 2-0, like a.
Clip it,
if
chat.
it's a
Clip it and send it to LD.
I don't have any issues with LD. This is nothing personal. It could be anyone. It could be me. If I was LD, I would want to get 2-0'd by this, just because I want to see this thing pop off. LD's deck is great. This looks very similar to what Artifacts is cooking right now. Very similar. You got more crabs though. You have more Calhouns, more crabs, less Benja, less McDuck Manor. But this deck is solid. I played this deck yesterday on stream. Had a good time with it. This deck is quite good. I mean, this is I don't see a path to victory for Domingo. Honestly, I think he's going to get annihilated. But if crazier things have happened, we thought that Spessy was going to get annihilated by Sailor as well. That didn't go that way. So maybe I think he's got this Medusa.
He was going to get annihilated.
Everyone did, and you just never know. That's the nature of trading card games. You never know. And this is going to be play. I believe this is the Domingo that won the European National Championship, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're playing Ruby Am.
I was thinking of the wrong one. Yeah, that was definitely a different person. You're right. I'm just sitting here looking at the sticker. Like, there's no way that this is an official sticker. But
I can't see
Disney,
it. I think that
Disney, you need to make these. Make these stickers. Don't let some middle-aged woman with a cricket corner the market on these stickers. You made pins out of them. Give me a sticker. I want a sticky stick. Give me a sticker. You're like, I don't even know what to say after that.
I'm sorry. I got distracted by this Earth Giant right here. I was like, wait a minute, this card kind of cracked, dude. 4 for 5, but your opponent gets to draw a card. Never mind. I thought it was both players get to draw a card. I can't read when it says each opponent.
Both players draw a card. I think that would have seen play already.
Yeah, but it's just your opponent gets a card, and
is it circuits or crickets? I thought the thing was called a cricket.
I definitely thought it was called a cricket. Is it not a cricket? Maybe it might be circuit.
Maybe it's spelled cricket. And it's pronounced cricket. Like that.
Let me see.
Sense. I mean, I would do that.
Cricket. Machine. Dude, my wife used to be cricket, like a cricket. My wife used to be big cricket gang, dude, and she got up off of that with the quickness. She used to be scrapbooking. She was in it. She was big time cricket. I don't know. I don't know, because it's a lot that you have to do. If you want to be true cricket gang, you got to like consistently go back in and buy the paper and get the little doodads and update the machine and get new punch out card. It's a lot to be cricket gang. You can't just.
What did she get it to make?
She'd do scrapbooking. She would do scrapbooking, and she would do like birthday cards and Christmas cards and like graduation
stuff. Stamp collecting for women who are older. I shouldn't say for women who are older. In my opinion, the only interaction I've had with scrapbooking has been my mother. So I'm just like, yes, it's an old woman thing.
I think that's done.
Do it too. Maybe young people do it. But like I just picture my mom with like trading card binders that are like this thick, and each page has like multiple cutouts of things and stickers for one picture. Like, just, I get it. It's cute. Just go into graphic design and do it on the computer.
I think that's what happened. I think it's cooked, man. Like, no one, like, my wife used to do it a lot, like making the scrapbooks, and then every now and then, periodically, we go back in, open them up, and look at them, like, wow, this is so cool. We got this. But now it's just like, okay, we're done with scrapbooks. We're not get it on the internet. We got the internet, man. We got Discord or something.
I just realized, I was like, who's Jock? That's the little black dog, right?
From what show?
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp. Let's see. Let me check it out. The Scotty. That's not the Scotty. We don't get a Scotty either. The Scotty from
that's the Scottish
from Dalmatians.
Right? That's Jock, or is Jock a different character from Lady and the Tramp?
Let me see. I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, Jock. That's a Scotty. Yeah, we don't have him.
I think I
Insane.
did like him. See, I didn't realize we didn't have him because it's been so long since I've watched Lady and the Tramp, but he was definitely one of the better characters.
Yeah. I don't know how they
Better
pick,
than
man.
that. Never mind.
Because
Just gonna
to
talk
your
some
point, no,
magic.
I'll make a criticism. I'm gonna be I'm gonna have some tact, but I think it's unfortunate. I would say that there are two. They're not one, but there are two Billy Bones cards. Billy Bones has two cards in this game. Billy Bones is on screen for 30 seconds and RIP right away in Treasure Planet.
He's a
Treasure.
pirate. Pirates
I'm
matter,
saying,
so
he
they're
was-
gonna see more cards. I think that
Billy-
was like a.
Billy Bones having two cards is crazy.
What are their
That man was on screen for 2 minutes and kicked the bucket immediately. He said like two things.
Yeah, we
and-
need more of the flying pirates. I know we have one evasive, like the
Mhm.
4/4 Dawn Carnage, but like we need
Yeah.
more of those pirates. Like give us more cool pirates like that, less of the 10-second Showtime pirates.
There you go. Thank you.
Grunrich, Grurich. I don't
Gru-
even remember
Grunge?
him in the thing. But
I looked that up the other day too because we were talking about that in one of the we were talking about that in the Discord server, and it's Grunge because we were like, how do you say his name? And I was like, I want to figure out how to say this guy's name. Is it Grunge? And then I look it up, and he doesn't even say.
he doesn't even have a name.
No one said. I looked up the whole script. I Control F Grunge, and that word is not even in the script. Where did
Any
that come
Magic
from?
Players out there want to buy my full art altered cards or signed cards before I list them on TCG Player.
They're gone. They're TCG. Get them out of here, dude.
Yep.
They're gone. Sold.
It is a sick dark. This is like a $50 Dark Ritual, and I feel I'm gonna have to sell it for way less than it's worth. Like, so this is an actual artist who does altars. Did these right? Those cost like $50 to $100. My buddy like sold out, and he was like, "Here, you can have these for your cube." Like 7 years ago, and he had like 5 or 6 full art altered cards that he wasn't using in his cube because he had multiple copies of him. It's like, man,
What does that do? Dark Ritual.
oh boy. Okay, it's an action.
Okay.
In Lorcana Talk, it's an action that costs 1 that says your next card costs 3 less to play.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That'll be like an uninkable. That'll be an uninkable 7 in Lorcana
an unequal 7
for sure. Yeah, that would not cost
Alright,
1.
It has to cost less than it reduces. So Magic actually fixed that, quote unquote, later. Fixed it. All right. It's honestly, it's hard to fix rituals. I mean, you are right though. If they made it cost 5 and it only added 6, no one's gonna play it unless there's like some 6 drop that is so busted. Like you could play the 2 drop that reduces the cost of ritual, so then you could ritual. Yeah, chats. So I tried to say it in Lorcana Talk, but Dark Ritual's even better than what I said. Because you can float mana in Dark Ritual. So
What is that? Just break that down. What does that mean? Float mana.
So-
I hear Magic people say that all the time.
you know how Mufasa readies all of your ink?
Mhm.
But the way you play cards in Lorcana is you play the card, then you pay its cost, correct? That's
Right.
the actual way. No one does it because we're all degens from other games. We tap our ink, we exert our ink, and then we play our card, right? That's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to play your card and then pay its cost.
Yep.
All right. So that is why so you can't like float ink. You can't like exert all of your ink for 4, quest with Mufasa, ready it, and then play an 8 drop, right? But you can do that in Magic. In Magic, your lands, they don't say your next card costs 1 less or any. It just says add 1 mana. So what Dark Ritual actually says, it's a 1 cost instant, which is an action you can play at any time that adds 3 mana. So you could go Dark Ritual, 5 drop on turn 1.
Oh,
or
damn.
Dark Ritual, 7 drop. Or Dark Ritual, 7 drop. So it's even broken. So there's another card called Seething Song, and it was a 3 cost that adds 5. It is just in time. But far better. Because you could play it and then play a 6 drop if you had another ink.
Okay.
Imagine if Just in Time said the next character you play costs 5 less instead. Like, I'm gonna Just in Time and then pay 3 more. So for 6 ink, I can play Sisu if I use a Just in Time. Like, I actually think the card would have maybe been too good, but I actually seen play if it worked that way.
And I think there are a lot of cards that gain a lot of inspiration from Magic the Gathering. So it's probably just a matter of time before we get something like that coming in.
It's hard not to. It's hard not to get inspiration from Magic, from Yu-Gi-Oh, from Pokemon. Like, just think of how each game plays. They all are different but similar. There's only so much you can do, right? Like, and it's kind of frustrating, like how the lawsuits and copyrights work. It's like we have to say banish instead of destroy. Sure, maybe that's because we're a Disney IP, and maybe you could even put that on there. But I know Wizards sued Yu-Gi-Oh for having Magic cards.
They did. They made them change it to spell too. Yeah,
I hate that with passion. But spell is also in Magic, so I'm surprised they didn't get him with that. I think summoning is something they can't use. They all mean the same thing. Every game has the same outlook. They're copywriting the fancy names for things. So, like, in the game I'm making, I have to use Vanquish. I'm using Vanquish instead currently. I'm not a big fan of it. But you can't, like, I could use Kill, but that just doesn't sound good.
Yeah, Kill is not a good PR.
Yeah, this deck is interesting. I mean, you get 2 crabs, but your items are Devil's Eye diamonds. I don't know if that's gonna be great.
Yo, I see 4-4 out there in the chat. Yo, JDZ looking dapper. Yo, thanks. That's Ant. That's the Go Format World Champion right there. People don't know. People don't know. That's the current and reigning Go Format World Champion right there. He won. He's got the belt and everything.
And we're gonna have a Go Format equivalent. If they don't make it, we will make it ourselves.
I'm certain.
It's just not going to happen for like 2 or 3 years at least.
It'll probably be like maybe like a set 1, set 2, set 3.
Yeah,
I think. Dude,
Katie's trying to make us exercise.
Us? Oh man, I don't know about that, dude. Where's his us? I don't know about this us, man. I got this
channel, bro. It ain't my channel.
I did squats with you last time, man. I think I hurt my knee
these aren't even
too,
squats,
man.
bro.
These are push-ups. That's what I'm saying. I gotta sit this one out, man. I can do some push-ups. Let me see. Dang, I can't do no push-ups. My suit jacket on. I'm gonna bust a seam over here. It's like with the 2 guys. One guy's like getting away. They're like robbing a bank or something, or doing some illegal crime.
3 of the clap push-ups, but hot damn, that hurt.
Yeah, like the 2 guys are like robbing a store or something, and one guy's getting away, and one guy gets caught, and he goes to get the other guy. He's like, "Hey, man, they caught us." Like, no, they didn't catch us. They caught you, man. They didn't catch us.
But now they caught us because you came over to me.
Yeah. You found me. Oh, what are we gonna do, man? We can't get away. They caught us. Like, no, I was gone. You got caught. I didn't get caught.
It's like some little kid hide and seek stuff.
Yeah.
You catch someone, you're like, "Oh, Jim's over there under the slide."
Yeah. Dog. Sorry, I'm still looking at this LD. It's Domingo deck, and it might work, man. You got this Madame Medusa. Whenever this character quests, you may deal 2 damage to another chosen character of yours to put 3 cards on a choice. 3 cards is there a way to hit? Like, how's this gonna work? Let's see, got 1, 2. Is there a chance that this deck can win? Has anyone ever tried a deck like this? I've seen the mill strategy or deck out strategy in Steel Amethyst. I've never seen it in Ruby Amethyst. Can it work? Thoughts? Does anyone have any revealing information? Has anyone tried this before? He's got the Show Me More in there. You got the Donald Duck, which is just so funny because you get Donald up and maybe they just can't win. I think you're all in too. You're all in on this deck out strategy. So I don't know. It could. eClout45 says it could. I mean, like, what are the chances? I don't need like some Doctor Strange 14 million to 1 type thing. I need odds and statistics. If applied correctly, I'm talking odds and statistics. Not yet. Okay. That seems a little more realistic. I'm asking, what are the odds that this deck can win?
I don't know.
I'm thinking very merry birthday. You got the so okay, here it is. I don't even know what the lines are. I want to try this deck. I'm going to play this deck or something very similar to it for sure. For sure. Yo, yo, yo. What is up, Garrick? What is up, Garrick? Out here holding it down. Speaking of some more high-profile Lorcana action, we're coming at you. We're coming at you. We're coming at you tomorrow as well. Is Earl up? We're coming at you guys tomorrow. Garrick is going to be in the dojo as well with your boy JDZ. We got another game tomorrow, and also this weekend out there in the DMV area, Garrick and his crew are hosting a invitational tournament. That's going to be great. It's going to be so much, man. It's going to be good. I'll be doing a little bit there, a little bit here, getting it in. Let's go. I'm excited, man.
All right, so I think we're gonna raid Earl here shortly. Not right yet. He's not live.
Okay.
But he is in the thing, I think. Okay, he's in the thing. So they probably started at 2. So we're probably gonna have about 5 to 10 minutes until then.
Okay.
So is there anything you want to say before we quickly jump over there?
I do. I want to say tonight is ICL night. So everyone that is here right now, make sure you come back for the ICL. It's going to be great. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, you will enjoy the ICL 100% of the time. After the ICL, there's going to be another LCCC matchup tonight. It's going to be on my channel, JDZ Quest on Twitch. So hopefully you guys go from there right to the ICL, right to the Twitch, and it's going to be a freaking Lorcana experience today. So hopefully you guys stay tuned.
Are you casting second or third?
I'm casting second, so I'll be able to do the broadcast second in ICL, break away, set up the stream, and then I'll have the stream going right after the last match, and then we'll get that thing seamlessly roll it right on into each other.
So the after show tonight is going to be LCCC. Perfect.
And then we can do it after show and have the late night Lorcana after late night dark if we can hang out late and just get it going. So all day Lorcana all the time. It's going to be good. So it's a treat. Wednesday, remember it. Let's do it.
He's still not live yet.
Dang. Dang.
I mean, I'll get a notification on my phone. We'll hear a bing.
We'll hear a bing? Okay.
I probably should not have those notifications, but I do have quite a few Twitch notifications. I like to follow people when I raid them because it's polite, and I think it's kind of awkward to raid someone and then like have my show screen that I don't even follow them if I'm like talking them up.
Yeah, hey, I do that. I've started doing that too, and I've realized sometimes I'll be watching someone's channel or watch someone's stream, and because I watch everything. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Twitch and Discord probably way too much, like a ridiculous amount of anyone doing Lorcana, and I'll be watching it most of the time, and I realize I'm not even following. And then someday I'll go back in and raid, and I'm like, oh dang, I wasn't following the whole time.
Got Rude Rose in the building saying that they had a slight issue and they're getting it fixed.
Let's go. Some technological indifferences.
He has been one of the up and up casters in my mind.
Yeah.
Maybe not up and up as you are, because
he's up. No, I'm not blowing up.
Very good.
I think we're
all. He was on the ICL again on Monday.
I think we're all on the same level. I had the pleasure and fortunate opportunity to work with Rudrose a few times, or at least one time in the past. And the energy is there. The fact that he could sing so well and he's quick on his feet, I think he can make it. He's going to do it well.
The only thing is he needs to get a green screen. That's it.
There it is.
You need a green screen. Your voice is silky smooth. You got everything you need, but a green screen.
And I got a mobile green screen. I can go up and down with mine. Okay, so I got a green screen sometimes. I got a green screen other times. So you gotta play the.
I have my green screen hanging from the ceiling. It's 2 sheets. And then when I'm not streaming, I just like take it, I roll it up and just throw it on top of itself so it just hangs still in the middle of the room. I'm so lazy. My wife hasn't complained yet. This is technically the living room.
No, I'm in the little back room over here. I just got like a little thing I can just kind of lower it down and put it on the ground and then lift it up. Because I only use the green screen when I'm on Wonder Twitch, dude. I'm big green screen over here.
You're gonna have to start using it on yours, but I understand.
You think so?
You have the
setup,
background, right? You
Yeah.
have like a bunch of cool trinkets. a box for my trinkets. Like, I'm not. All right, chat. Who's like me? I'm at a garage sale. I see this little wooden box, sub $1. It's going home with me. It's a little box. How do you not just buy little boxes for your little trinkets?
That's too funny. Just take it. Have a little box. I got boxes on boxes, little lights, little lasers, and whatnot, and henceforth, and moreovers.
When's your green screen playmat showing up?
Tomorrow, or actually, it's gonna be here tonight. It's gonna be here tonight. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna put. I don't know what I'm gonna put on there. I'm gonna probably like make a channel, put channel points on it, and we'll pay X amount. You can design what it's gonna be as long as it's within the realm of not.
When a digital client comes back, when an official Disney client eventually gets here, one thing you could do. This is what a previous streamer did. It is what Dude TCG did for Pixelborn. Is if you subbed, you would get your name put on a card. So he would go, because you can edit.
Oh, nice.
You could edit your local images, so it wouldn't show up for your opponent, but on his stream, when he played a card, it would have that person's name written on it. So then you could like, do whatever, you know.
So hey, you sub and you could buy some real estate on the mat. Have your own name on the mat, or have your face or whatever picture you want for, X amount of time or something. I don't know. That could be funny. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be interesting to see. I found that by accident too. That was really, really using the I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen, and it just so happened to accidentally happen. So I'm rolling with it now. Green screen mat all the way. Are you gonna start playing hardcore mode when you get your cards in?
Maybe. I'm lazy. I was not a fan of the best of 3 aspect, mostly because, all right, so in my mind, if I wanted a best of 3, I would just ask my opponent. I was like, do you want to play a best of 3? The winner gets the points.
Yeah.
Done. But if my opponent is slow, annoying, a poor sport, a bad camera setup, I don't want to be stuck for an hour playing against them. Yeah. And I don't want to just leave because we're grinding points.
True.
Right.
True,
so it's like that's a pain. It has its positives and negatives. The thing I do not like, rather than the fact that an ad is about to pop up and I have no snoozes, is the fact that they're not both there. I understand they're doing it so they don't split the community, but let me play best of 1 if I want, let me play hardcore, but there's just not enough people on it to do it.
True. And for me as someone who's trying to stream, like it's way more fun to just stream the best of 1 and get a bunch of different decks in there and cycle a bunch of through, instead of just sitting there with one person for an hour and it's grind and it's like very competitive. So it's like grind. You're locked in. You can't even talk to the chat. You can't do anything. You're just locked into this grind house.
If you are in the top 10, top 15 players, you're probably only going to be playing against other good players, and it probably is great testing and a good time. RMB, the next match should be up any moment. He'll be going live, and we're going to raid into him as soon as he's ready. They're just getting some stuff figured out.
Yeah. And just kicking it with the chat and hanging out and just being loose and playing wild concoctions and just having fun. That's kind of where I want to be. That's where I have my most joy. The grind is just going to stress me the hell out, dude. I'm just so mad getting sacked. And then people might start cheating too. That's another aspect that we don't talk about enough. There's really no way to stop your opponent from cheating or stacking their deck or manipulating their deck because, you're not able to be in the same room. And I have, believe it or not, I have been cheated on Pixelborn without the hardcore mode. I've been cheated already. So it's like something that does happen.
Or your chat was that dude cheated.
I caught him and the chat caught him. It was a whole thing. So we're playing, and I guess he didn't realize his camera was canted over or zoomed out, and we're playing, and he just reaches over and he slides a card in and he puts it into his hand. Didn't realize that I'm like, bro, I'm mute. I'm like, bro, I can see you. I'm like, we can see you. And he goes, be prepared. I'm like, okay, dude. I'm like, did you just grab that off screen? He's like, no. I was like, dude, I saw you reach over, slow. He was like super slow mo, just slide over. Slides it in.
Right? He doesn't see it. He doesn't.
Because usually, maybe the camera because you could tell the camera was at a unnatural angle and it was kind of canted
Kinda
off to
like
the
what mine
side
is
a
at.
little bit, and it was just like, and I'm like, if the camera had been straight, I never would have seen it because you can't really see your opponent's hands all the time. I'm like, if that's what you got to do, I personally do not care if someone feels that they have to do that to win because clearly they're going through something else in their life that this is that
Some
important.
people are scum. You should care. It's not that it's important. Some people just have impulses and they have to cheat. They need to get
Yeah.
caught. They need to get shamed. And there's not
Yeah.
an okay to do it thing. The only time I could see cheating is okay is if you're playing with your friends and you're trolling them and then you tell them you did it afterwards.
Yeah.
So they are aware it's a joke. Competitive or anything like that, like no.
No.
It's,
I
on
100%
a
agree.
second
It
note,
was
this is I didn't realize it when this was given to me like 15 years ago that this was actually a spell ground. It even says spell ground on it, but when it was given to me, the person said it was like a knockoff fake. But I looked it up, and it is actually a regular one. But it's been doodled. It's not worth anything.
yeah, not
But
anymore.
This is so cool.
That's a 1 of 1, dude. It's
Yeah.
got value. It's got value. Dude, Earl's got to get together. He's got to
Well, they have the delay
lock in.
too.
Oh, they
I
got the
assume
delay.
they're
Okay.
doing the full 10-minute delay. Maybe
Gotcha.
they didn't realize you could do a 5.
Yeah, I read the
And they were
announcement.
having issues. They are okay. So they're like on turn 2 of the game right now.
Okay.
So I'm assuming we have like 2 or 3
Hey,
more
Pizzas up
minutes.
Ali 90.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we got Master Shake in the board on the play. The rest of the playmat is terrible. There were names written, like this was a signature. Like I had some friends sign it. I don't even remember what that said at one point. It's not worth looking into. I watched it a few times to see if that would like. I scribbled over her cleavage so it wasn't as revealing. I guess maybe, I don't know. I tried washing it. It didn't wash anything out. I don't know, maybe you bleach, but I feel like to get Sharpie out of a playmat that's been on there for 15 years, it would probably take all of this off.
Yeah, I think that's never coming off. And you probably don't want it to. You probably want to just keep it like that. I would only assume. Just keep it.
This is unusable.
Why?
You know, this crap all over it.
It looks nice. It looks like a nostalgic. It
does
looks
not.
like it
This
looks.
does.
It looks like
This
high
looks
art,
great.
man.
So I've been folding it in half and putting it over here and using it as a mouse pad.
That looks like art, man. It looks like history. I think it's got some class to it.
I'll
I
just
keep
find
it.
someone who's good at Sharpie over all of my bad Sharpies.
And make it pop, dude. That's high art. Yo, thank you guys. I mean, I'm assuming you. I'm only assuming that you guys are all wearing suits as well. Luke also has a button-up shirt on as well, so we're fancy.
Yeah.
That's
Can't tell
basically
from
a tuxedo.
More
Luke's
buttoning.
yeah. That's basically a tuxedo Luke's wearing right there. That's a compromise.
I can't.
We're taking it to the
fit
next
my
level.
suit
And we got the freaking. You know what I'm saying? I know you see it. We got the drip. You know what I'm saying? Drip so hard.
My suit was too small for me when I weighed 160 pounds, and now at slightly over 200, it definitely does not fit.
And I'm putting the suit back on tonight too. I might suit back up. We're gonna suit back up again. Every round, LCCC will be featured. Every round I'm on, I'm gonna be suited and booted. Every time I'm in the booth, we're gonna have the suit on. Because guess what? If this is the NBA finals, if this is the finals of the NBA, you got the commentators, they got their suits on. No one says anything about it. No one notices. No one makes any comments. But we got to bring that energy here. You know, this is just as important, I think. There it is. There it is. All right. So the Earl Meister is still hanging on tough. And they're playing already. I'm gonna hop back in the Discord. I might hop in there and just see if I can quietly hop into the
You might
thing.
not want to because I'm pretty sure Earl and Rude Rose are using the Discord to commentate. So if you jump in there, they might hear your entrance noise.
Oh, you can. I think
you.
you can right click and enter quiet. You can do that. I think there's a way that you could do. I'm not going to do it, but in theory you could. If you right click and enter muted or enter silently, it won't make the little.
That doesn't. There's a noise that plays when someone enters a Discord. Unless.
Oh, not mine. Not me. All mine's muted. I'm muted.
Well, yeah.
I muted everything.
Do you think Earl has that muted? He might not, because
Oh,
I
he
doubt
better.
he's playing in Streamer mode. He might be. If he's in streamer mode, it might not pop up. I don't know. I have all that off, but I have, as I showed you, I have the sound thing split. So like my audio, I just have Discord muted unless I turn it on.
Oh yeah, maybe you can't do it because I know that I thought there's a way that you could
Business up
enter
top, casual on the bottom.
where the pants. Oh, is that Nate Dog? Is that Nasty Nate 666? Oh man, what is up, Nate? Found me. You located
Earl
me.
is
I've been
not live right now unless
there. He is. I just saw it pop up. I think he came in now.
he just popped up.
Yeah, he just popped up. He just popped up as live.
Oh, there he is. All right, we're gonna raid Earl. Thanks for watching.
Let's do it.
But yeah, let's get the party going.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Thanks for
I'm ready.
watching. We've got JDZ later tonight. We've got some ICL. So much action tonight. Have a great day, and I will see you later.
Peace.
All right, we're rated.
Let's go. Let's go. Nice, nice, nice.